Mohbe sir has also joined. Okay, so it is streaming now.
Good morning, madam.
Good morning, sir. Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine. So just give me a minute.
Please.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mishra Saab.
Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yeah.
Oh, that's very good. There was some problem with my laptop yesterday. But
okay. और कैसे हैं Mishra Saab?
Okay. So that's very nice of you meeting and on
this
platform.
In 3 days we are meeting second time, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, that is really. और कैसे चल रहा है Mishra Saab? How is Lucknow, sir?
But it's okay now, fine. But still the 60 plus people are a bit hesitant to move out, or in the gathering at least, or else things are okay.
Great. और बाकी सर जीएसआई वगैरह जाते हैं कभी?
नहीं, अभी तो नहीं जा रहे लेकिन जाएंगे. We are avoiding the going to university or to the GSI at the moment.
Yeah,
but,
understandable.
We are just waiting for the Diwali to pass because
exactly. Maybe to sir GSI, I think almost for the last 1 year I have not visited.
Movement during the Sahara and Diwali.
Yeah. It's becoming difficult. अभी कौन है सर लखनऊ में? Who is the DDG HOD now?
वो अगलवे you know
अच्छा अगलवे I know she was with us na Nagpur. अच्छा she is HOD now?
Yeah, Mrs. Aglave is the HOD now.
Good. Okay. I was not knowing it. वो तो ADG बन गई होगी मिश्रा साहब?
Yeah.
She must have become ADG by now, no?
अभी शायद नहीं हुई, सुना नहीं मैंने.
ऐसा क्या? Okay.
At least few months back, 2-3 months back, till 2-3 months back.
Singh Saab, good morning, sir.
नमस्कार डॉक्टर साहब.
MP Singh sir, I don't know why. Sir, आप connected नहीं है voice से? Okay. We are waiting for a few more participants to join. I think once that happens, we should start. And वही है.
Good morning, everyone. Sudhir Shukla here.
नमस्कार सुधीर जी.
Good morning, sir.
नमस्कार सुधीर जी. डॉक्टर साहब भी आ गए.
Good morning, Sudhir ji.
Professor Hussain, Dr. Vanzarwadkar, good morning.
Dr. Hussain is there.
Yes, he is here. Our speakers, Dr. Ajit Vartak, afternoon speaker, youngster Suraj Bhosle is here. We are waiting for more people to join us. Yes. Good morning, Hussain sir.
Very good morning, Dr.
Good morning, Hussain sir. Good morning.
Good morning, Mohave ji.
Namaskar, Hussain sir.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Dr.
Namaskar, sir.
Good morning. Namaskar.
कैसा है सिंह साहब?
बढ़िया, ठीक है. How are you?
I am very fine, sir. आपको देख के बड़ा अच्छा लगा. I feel so inspired.
Thank you.
Yeah, you are always full of energy, sir.
Yeah.
That's true, sir.
Thank you.
और कैसे हैं सर? Everything is okay at Lucknow, sir?
हाँ, fine.
How is Sahani साहब, sir?
Sahani साहब ठीक हैं. It's okay. Now everything is normal. I hope Nagpur has no problem as far as
Nagpur अभी problem नहीं है sir. It is almost under control now.
Okay. That's
तो
nice.
बहुत अच्छा. आइए sir, अभी Nagpur Lucknow is now connected by flight.
Okay.
So there will not be much problem. Directly we can come. 1.5 hours, sir, maximum.
Most. You are always welcome. Come.
मतलब sir, Lucknow में so I love to be there. I don't know. But वो खराब हुआ sir. We lost so many of our colleagues now. It was really so sad.
Very
Singh
sad.
साहब.
Nigam साहब is here. निगम साहब ने भी ज्वाइन कर लिया है.
Good. Where is Rajiv?
सर राजीव निगम ही अभी ज्वाइन हुए हैं.
अच्छा, good.
राजीव सारस.
Rajiv has joined.
अच्छा, nice.
Professor Rajni has brought. We should be thankful to her. So many people together, sir, and we are literally delighted to see sir. Thank you, Rajni ji. Thank you so much.
अरे सर ऐसे मत कहिए.
Yeah. It's a great.
Actually, मैं ये नहीं जानती हूँ कि मतलब हाँ maybe some people are also live on YouTube, क्योंकि कई बार ये हो जाता है कि लोग ज्वाइन नहीं कर पाते हैं WhatsApp, तो लोगों को ये लगता होगा कि WhatsApp पे मिले चांस ना मिले. So I'm actually waiting for more people to join. लेकिन if
Yeah, no problem.
let's wait for another 2-3 minutes. Otherwise,
No problem. No problem. The purpose will be served now if more people are there.
Yes, sir. Yes. That's the main idea.
Yeah.
Manzil Gadkar sir. Sir?
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ. Sir,
Vajjavadi sir, namaskar sir.
Namaskar, sir. Good morning.
How are you?
Fine, sir. Fine, sir.
Great.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
he was trying for a very long time to connect to his audio.
Oh.
Yes.
Yes,
Even
so I
my
was waiting.
laptop
Sir, good morning.
was trouble. No, I could join.
Good morning, sir.
Raji Nigam
Namaste.
sir, good morning and congratulations sir.
Thank you,
Congrats.
sir.
How are you sir?
Just doing fine.
I'm really delighted to see you here sir.
No, this is our program. You know that.
Yeah.
PSI, MP Singh Saab, Rajni, they are the people. No, without them, I cannot live.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. One request to all of us who are here. Some of us, if we have joined from 2 devices, if they are on at the same time in the room, if we have 2 devices which are connected, there will be an echo. So in case we have 2 devices on, I will ask you to mute one device. If 2 devices are on, I request you to mute one device. Okay. And I think with that, we should start. I think people will join slowly. It's a Saturday. Maybe it's a little early for some.
Our internet connection is installed. आपको आईडी दे दीजिए ना मैडम डायरेक्टली आईडी दे दीजिए. I think I should go mute.
If everyone is ready, can we start? One second.
Vartak Saab, namaskar.
Dr. Varta sahab, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good morning.
How are you, Ajit?
Fine.
Great. Yeah. Nice to see you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
आप बोले वैसे MP सिंह साहब और आप इंस्पायरिंग है ना हमको सब लोग.
Yeah. It is there, sir.
Okay.
How Vartak sahab, how is Pune?
Pune is now fine.
No, sir.
Everything
Under
is
control, sir.
Yeah, under control.
Sounds, sir. So we are all sort of geared up for ICMS.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're all sort of geared up. So next 2 months is going to be very, very difficult for me. Okay. So I think we're already live. So let us start with today's proceedings. And good morning, everyone. And with the hope that more people are joining us, which I can continuously see, I'm admitting people continuously. With the hope that more people will join our movement. Welcome, everyone, to the International Fossil Day Celebrations 2021, which Pune University is organizing under the auspices of the Paleontological Society of India, Lucknow, under its Pune Mumbai Students Chapter, which has been established in Pune, Savitribai Phule Pune University in 2018. I'm really very proud to tell that this is the 4th year since the student chapter has been established. And I think we're doing quite well for ourselves. It was only 2019 when we were in the middle of the pandemic or just before the pandemic, that because of a lot of issues, we were not able to conduct anything for the International Fossil Day celebrations. I must actually give a lot of credit to the Paleontological Society of India, Lucknow, for its dynamism in bringing along the entire country together and organize the International Fossil Week celebrations and have it in an organized manner so that one day has been dedicated to every chapter. And in continuation with that, today we have the valedictory day, or the last day, which is at Pune University. I wish to talk about the theme. The theme, like you all know today, you all might have seen the posters, the flyers. Pune University, because we have seen a lot of scientific brainstorming, and we are talking about popularizing the science of fossils. We are talking about attracting more and more people, the common people, catching young minds to interest them in the science of fossils. And that's why when there's so much of scientific things which is being talked, we really feel that it is the responsibility of all scientists and all researchers to communicate their science in a popular language to even the young children, the new researchers, and the university students, and also the common public. In the same breath, we decided this theme on popularization of the science of fossils and also preservation of fossil sites. So with this, I start, and that's why we have very thoughtfully chosen speakers for this theme. And with this, let us start with, before we start with the talks today, I request Professor MP Singh. So please tell us about the theme, the entire idea that India, you might have seen over the past 4 or 5 years, India has taken really active participation under the leadership of Professor MP Singh in celebrating the International Fossil Week. And he is coordinated with the international body. So I request Professor MP Singh Saab to please introduce this concept and the need behind this entire thing.
Thank you, Rajni. So first of all, I would like to extend my most cordial welcome to all the participants. Very nice to see all the old familiar faces through you. You have made my job much easier. You have already introduced the theme of your. Actually, as Rajni has told you, the whole idea is to popularize the science of paleontology and the fossils. Common people is still, I mean, educated people are still confused between geology and zoology. So let us attract the students, and I think for attracting the best way, as Rajni has already spoken, that the fossil park and paleo park must be established. And for this, I think the local people living at the adjoining areas of the fossil site, they should be sensitized that how to protect, what is the significance, because for them fossils are just a piece of stone. They don't know how important they are. And if you go to any fossil site, you will find that local people, they collect the fossil and they come and they sell for very cheap. I mean, I remember, I think Dr. Mahobe will confirm this, that many foreigners, they came to Balasinor and they used to buy the dinosaur egg for 1 or 2 rupees or 10 rupees or 20 rupees. And the local people, so this we have to stop. And for popularization of fossils, I think the best way is to establish more and more fossil parks, paleo parks, develop tourist spots. And luckily in India, we have so many beautiful fossil sites. Bagh, Tisnapalli, Ariyalur, Jaisalmer, and Kutch. I mean, there are so many places. So I hope through organizing this type of International Fossil Day, the school children will be attracted to this fascinating science of fossils. And in due course of time, with the efforts of all of us, I think we'll be able to make it. So I welcome you all, and I wish Dr. Vartak and other speakers nice time. Go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Singh Saab, for making this much more easier. The blessings of all you seniors. I'm so grateful that representatives from the Paleontological Society main body, Professor MP Singh, who's the president of Paleontological Society of India, Shukla ji, who is the Secretary of the Paleontological Society of India, Dr. V.P. Mishra, Professor S.M. Singh, S.M. Hussain. They are the vice presidents of the Paleontological Society of India. The office bearers being present in a chapters program like this is a great encouragement. And I think it's a very good opportunity for all the youngsters here to, it gives them an interaction with all of you, with you great personalities, and also gets them to see you face to face. And so, it also brings up a channel of networking. And I hope this movement actually becomes a greater, I call it a domino effect. I hope it makes a domino effect. Okay, with this, let's start with the talks for today. I request Shraddha to introduce our first speaker, Dr. Ajit Vartak.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. It is indeed a great pleasure for me to introduce the unique paleontologist, Dr. Ajit Vartak, sir. He has been teaching faculty and has served in the Department of Geology and Petroleum Technology at the Nauroji Wadia College, Pune, for 33 long years. He earned an early PhD from Agakar Research Institute, Pune, on the heteromorph ammonites from Cretaceous of Kaveri Basin under the able guidance of Dr. M. A. Ghare. However, I started off his introduction calling him a unique paleontologist because Dr. Ajit Vartak has earned wide acclaim in the field of studying fossils through philately. He also holds a master's degree in Indology. He is a philatelist and began to use stamps as a teaching device for the earth sciences. He has given presentations, published papers in national and in international journals, and has also published popular articles and arranged exhibition on the stamps. He holds a record in Limca Book of Records for his personal collection of stamps. Dr. Vartak is associated with several academic societies. He is serving as a secretary of Maharashtra Vriksha Samvardhani, a renowned NGO in Pune for the last 20 years. He has delivered several talks on national, international forums, many of which popularized the science of fossils through philately. His efforts being aligned with the theme of the IFD celebrations and the theme of SPPU this year. We invite our first speaker for today, Dr. Ajit Vartak, to deliver his talk. So please.
So you can share 1 second. Ek minute, sir. So you can share your slides.
Yeah, दिसतंय आता?
Yes, sir. Sir, नाही, तुमचे slides दिसत नाहीये.
एक मिनिट करतो. होय, दिसतंय आता.
होईल सर, होईल.
आलंय स्क्रीन शेअर झालं?
नाही सर. सर, तुमचं हे जे खाली आहे ग्रीन कलरचं शेअर स्क्रीन म्हणून,
हो,
तुम्ही त्या शेअर स्क्रीनवर क्लिक करा.
केलं.
त्याच्यामध्ये तुम्हाला वर दिसेल, तुम्हाला तुमचं पॉवर पॉइंट ओपन दिसेल.
हो, दिसतंय.
त्या पॉवर पॉइंट वर क्लिक करा आणि शेअर म्हणा.
बर, शेअर.
नाहीतर you can
एक
immediately.
एक मिनिट.
हाँ, झालं sir. It has started sharing.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Sir, you can go to खाली PowerPoint मध्ये screen show करून टाका. Slide show. एकदम खाली. वर हा तिथे करा. चालेल. From beginning. बस. Done, sir.
Thank you, Shraddha. And I'm very much thankful to Paleontology Society of India as well as Pune chapter also for giving me this opportunity to give talk on philately and paleontology. Now I will directly go to my presentation. As you can see here, first we'll see what is philately. Now philately actually is a Latin derived from two Latin words. Philas means love and atelia means exempted from payment. So anything what we get from postal offices is collected as well as studied, and that is called as philately. It is called as king of hobbies. It is also useful very much because it is a window of the nation through which people overseas may behold its heritage and nature. It is the most simple as well as most cost-effective method of conveying the geological heritage of our country also. Cheapest way of preserving our geodiversity, and it helps bringing study of fossils to the public attention by the easiest method. So that is why I have selected philately as a tool for educating about earth sciences. Now, as I told you that the philately is not just collection of stamps, but it requires study also. So it is a collection and study of stamps is philately. The first idea about a stamp was given by an English schoolmaster, Roland Hill. He suggested this idea in 1837. You can see this is a stamp issued by India on Roland Hill. And the first stamp in the world was issued by England or United Kingdom in 1840. And this stamp is black in color and 1 penny price. So it is known as very famous as penny black stamp. And the most interesting thing is that after 111 years, that is after 1840, in 1951, on the occasion of centenary of Geological Survey of India, India issued the first stamp on prehistoric life. Now we know, all of you know about paleontology, so I won't go into that. Now, if you see that, as I told you that everything what you get from the postal office is considered as philatelic material. So it may be in the form of cancellation, or we call it as shikka, or it may be in the form of envelope, or it may be form of postcard, whatever it may be. So anything, if you collect and study, it is a philately study. Now, the first philatelic atom related with paleontology is practically first given by Sinclair Oil Company. This meter franking to advertise their lubricants refined from crude oil, which that time they believed to have formed when dinosaurs roamed the earth. Now, this oil company, that is Sinclair Oil Company, used dinosaur logo from 1930s, and this is probably the very first occurrence of dinosaur or fossil in philately. Now, as I told you that first day cover is issued on the issue of a new stamp. So a special cover is issued by the Postal Department. You can see here special cover issued by United States Postal Office. Now this stamp was issued on the occasion of centenary of the very famous Smithsonian Institute. Now the stamp on the envelope, you can see on the right hand side, the building of Smithsonian Institute. On the left hand side, we have dinosaur image, and probably it is Diplodocus. And again, this is the first fossil on first day cover. Now, the first reconstruction of prehistoric animal was shown by depicted on the Indian stamp. In 1951, the Indian Geological Survey celebrated its centennial, and on the occasion, a special or commemorative stamp was issued. This stamp shows two fossil elephants taken on Ganesha, probably direct ancestor of modern elephant, and they are the link between Mastodon and present elephant. Now, first fossil and postcard. So we study and collect postcards also. This is the first postcard where fossil is depicted. This was issued by Poland in 1970s to commemorate the 50th anniversary of Polish Geological Institute. And you can see the ammonite figure is there. That is genus Perispinthus. Now, all of we know that in 1993, Jurassic Park, science fiction film directed by Steven Spielberg was released. And it highest grossing film ever at that time is considered. And because of that, we can see that on United, you can see on the left-hand side, United States issued a stamp in 2000, then Kyrgyzstan issued a stamp on 2001, and in 2016, Guinea issued a stamp on the 70th birth anniversary of Steven Spielberg. Now, this movie, Jurassic Park, led to an explosion of public interest all over the world in dinosaurs. And if you see in the philatelic world also, it created a havoc, and practically every country started issuing stamps on dinosaurs or fossils. Presently, we have about 200 countries issued stamps, about 4,500 on fossils. Out of that, about 200 stamps are related with plant fossils. Remaining 4,300 are on animal fossils. And out of that 4,300, about 4,000 are on dinosaurs. So you can see so much popularity dinosaurs has got because of this Jurassic Park movie. Now, next we'll see about what are different branches of paleontology. Now, this is the most important branch nowadays. We know that micropaleontology, where we study microfossils, we require special type of microscope, that is binocular microscopes. We can see here fossils of or images of foraminifera, which are mainly used in biostratigraphy, paleoecology, as well as oil exploration. Secondly, you can see radiolarians, where the skeleton is composed of silica. Again, they are important in biostratigraphy as well as paleo environment. We have conodonts made up of calcium phosphate. Again, they are very important in dating and correlation of Paleozoic and Triassic rocks. You can see here all megafossils or big size fossils where we have amphibians, reptiles, mollusks. We can see here dominantly, that is ammonites, belemnites, nautilites. At the same time, fish fossils are also there. So this is a branch related with big size fossils. Then we have ichnology, that is study of trace fossils. Nowadays, trace fossils play a very, again, important role because we know about dinosaur behavior also regarding their moving in the group, or they were moving in a single way, or they were running. So all that can be studied with the help of these footprints. Paleozoology, this is a very interesting sheet of stamps issued by United States in 1997, where they have depicted Cretaceous and Jurassic dinosaurs from North America. And this painting was prepared, or this designing was done by a very famous United States paleo artist, James Gunray. And these stamps, they are very much important because you can see a complete sequence of Jurassic and Cretaceous life, or dinosaur life in the United States. Paleobotany, we study plant fossils. You can see here on the left-hand side, we have got stomatolites. Stomatolites, all of we know that stomatolites, they are all known as organosedimentary structures formed by cyanobacteria and leaf impressions as well as petrified fossils. This is again a paleopalynology where we study fossil pollen grains. You can see here 13,000 years old fossilized barley pollen grain is shown on Sri Lankan stamp. History of paleontology. All of we know that Aristotle was a Greek philosopher, was one of the first to classify living things into either plants or animals. So this is the first classification of living things. Then Leonardo da Vinci, Italian, perhaps the most talented person ever to have lived. He stressed that fossils were organic in nature and natural in origin. Again, all of we know that Agricola, who is regarded as father of mineralogy, but at the same time, he coined the term fossil to include all objects which could be dug up. So as the science of paleontology matured, the term fossil strictly refers to remnants of biological entities. Leeuwenhoek of Netherlands used simple microscope with excellent lenses manufactured personally. Bacteria was first observed by him in 1676 using own designed microscope. So practically you can see that branch of micropaleontology starts from the discovery of microscope by Leeuwenhoek. Then Carl Linnaeus of Sweden had a medical education. Receiving his doctorate in Netherlands, he proposed binomial classification, that we know that every living thing has got two parts in the name, that is scientific name. that is generic name and specific name. So this classification or this naming was proposed by Linnaeus. D. Orbigny, a French naturalist who is regarded as father of micropaleontology. He was working in Paris Museum where he studied Chevalier's collection from Pondicherry. And interestingly, you can see here, all the 3 stamps are issued by Bolivia, a South American country, because Orbigny has traveled all South American countries and has studied a lot, South America. And the first geological map of Bolivia was prepared by Orbigny. So on this occasion of bicentenary of his birth, Bolivia issued these 3 stamps. In 1847, he published his first article on Pondicherry fossils. Charles Darwin, all of you know, English naturalist, father of evolution theory. 2009 was his birth bicentenary and 150 years of his book, Origin of Species. So all over the world, many countries have, practically every country have issued stamps on Darwin. Edward Forbes, a British naturalist born in Isle of Man, got degree in medicine, but he left the field to devote himself to natural history. Extensive work on mollusks and sea stars. He was a major figure in establishing the field of oceanography, biogeography, and paleoecology. The interesting thing is that he published a paper on Cretaceous fossils of Pondicherry in 1846. F. Stolizga, a Czech geologist, paleontologist, and zoologist, studied at Vienna under the guidance of Professor Suez, who coined the term Gondwana land. He joined GSI, Geological Survey of India, in 1862 and documented as many as 800 fossil species from South Indian Cretaceous deposit. He died during his travel in Yarkand, in the Yarkand expedition in 1874 at Murgi in Ladakh. You can see a stamp issued by his own country, Czech, but actually we are always trying to issue a stamp. Government of India also should issue a stamp on Stolizga because he started his career in India, died also in India, and he has done a tremendous work in South Indian Cretaceous deposits. You can see this is a photograph where you can see at the left-hand corner, Stolizga is standing. Along with Stolizga, we can see many eminent geologists like Foote, Mallet, Ball, Wagon, and sitting persons at the center. You can see the first Director General of Geological Survey of India, T. Oldham, at the center. This is a memorial of Stolizga at Leh. Dr. D.N. Wadia, born in Surat, Gujarat, educated at Baroda, he joined MG College, Jammu, and then GSI. He led the foundation of the geological investigations in India. He was awarded Padma Bhushan in 1958. He published a book, The Geology of India, in 1919, and he prepared a first soil map of India also. Institute of Himalayan Geology is renamed as Wadia Institute of Himalayan Geology after him. Now we'll see how the fossils are preserved by different modes. All of you know that the first mode of preservation is entire animal preserved, where both hard and soft parts are preserved. You can see on the top, all the 3 stamps depict fossils from amber, Burmese amber, Dominican amber, and Baltic amber. They are the world famous. You can get the complete insect trapped in the amber. And below we have got mammoth. They are preserved in ice, probably from Siberia. Only skeleton. Again, this is a very common type of preservation. So only hard parts that are preserved. Many countries have issued stamps on that. On the left-hand side, you can see a very famous stamp of Archaeopteryx issued by Germany. Petrification, where we know that total mineralization is taken place, and you can see the petrified fossil wood. Impressions, plant leaves, they don't have any hard parts, so they are preserved by their impression on very fine-grained sedimentary rocks. So you can see here, leaf impressions. 2 stamps on the lower line are from India, issued by India in 1997, 50 years of Birbal Sahni Institute. Cast and mold, all of you know that inverted fossils are most commonly preserved as cast and mold. So you can see here on the left-hand side, you have got molds. On the right-hand side, we have got casts. Trace fossils, we know that no body part is preserved, only the activity of the animal is preserved. So you can see here trace fossils shown by Lesotho stamp. In Lesotho, we have got huge impressions or huge preservation of dinosaur footprints. Now, next we'll see what are the applications or uses of paleontology, or why we study fossils. Now, this is a very interesting set of stamps issued by a very small country, Newfoundland, in Pacific. It is in between Fiji and Samoa. The total area of this country is about just 15 square kilometers, and population is about 600 only. But they issue very interesting stamps because many small countries, their economy is based on selling of stamps. So that is why they always select very interesting topics. Now here you can see on the left-hand side top, we have got the creation of our planet, and right-hand side bottom, right-hand side, you can see man landing on the moon. So you can see here that complete evolution of our planet can be seen on this set of stamp. So a stamp can give, though it is a very small piece of paper, which gives information of very scientific information also, because on the top of a paper, we have image as well as information, and on the back side, gum is there, which we fix on the envelope or letter. You can see here, again, a very interesting set of stamp issued by Afghanistan, where with the help of this stamp set, we can explain about evolution of horse in the class also. Evolution of man, issued by Uzbekistan. Again, we know, all of you know that about Alfred Wegener, a German geologist and Arctic explorer, advanced the theory of continental drift. You can see here stamps on both the sides. You can see Alfred Wegener, and in the center we have got a stamp where you can see that the supercontinent Pangaea supposedly broke up into our present continents, which can be seen on the stamp, which then drifted apart as shown on the middle stamp. So again, stamps also can be used as an educational tool in earth science. Here you can see, we know that plant fossils, they play a very important role to study paleoclimate, because their distribution at present also, distribution of plants is mainly controlled by climatic conditions. So we can get idea regarding paleoclimate by using stamps. On the right-hand side here, you can see a stamp issued by Italy. Now this stamp is very important because this shows a very famous fossil park, which is considered as a World Heritage Site, known as Dunabro Plant Fossil Park, where you can see all the plant fossils are in, or every tree is in live position. Exploration of fuel, that is basically oil and coal. You can see here two stamps, they show you about derrick as well as how the drilling is carried out in oil domes, and a sample of coal can be seen. On the right hand side, we use binocular microscope to study all these microfossils, that is also shown. Geopark is again this concept totally neglected in our country, because all of you know about biodiversity park, but geopark is totally neglected. And geopark aims to protect geodiversity, which includes rocks, minerals, landforms, and fossils, and to promote geological heritage to general public, as well as to support sustainable economic development of geopark territories, primarily through the development of geological tourism. Paleopark is a part of geopark only, which aims to protect fossil heritage of the country. So China is the country which has maximum number of geoparks in their country. You can see here the stamps issued by China, Hong Kong, as well as Portugal on geoparks. Now this is again a way how to popularize this topic about geopark and how to conserve. So stamps play a very important role. Now regarding fossil sites, again we know that fossil sites are very important to preserve because that is our heritage. And there are many threats presently in our country also, like quarrying or irresponsible collection. So there are many threats. So this is a very famous, world famous site or World Heritage Site also in Tanzania, Old Way Gods. It is exceptionally rich archaeological site of human history spanning nearly 2000 million years. Abundant human animal fossils and stone artifacts preserved in this well-dated stratigraphic sequence. On the right-hand side, you can see stamps. On the top, a very interesting stamp issued by Tanzania in 1965. If you see this stamp, you can see some persons on the stamp, and interestingly, The persons include Mary Leakey as well as her husband, Louis Leakey. At the same time, the Director General of National Geographic magazine, Dr. Grossner, and his wife is also seen. And one of the very eminent person in fossil collection, known as, who is considered as very famous fossil finder with Leakey family, known as Mukiri, is also seen on the stamp. And on the next stamp is again Mary Leakey, issued by United Kingdom on her centenary of his birth, of her birth in 2013. Museums again play a very important role of to collect, preserve, interpret, display objects of artistic, cultural, and scientific significance for the study and education of the public. So museums are again totally neglected subject in our country. If you see in most of the European countries, most of the museums are funded by private agencies. They don't depend upon government agencies. So, but in our country, we know that this concept is totally lacking. This is a very world famous museum, that is Smithsonian Institute. These are the 3 stamps issued on Smithsonian Institute building, 2 stamps on their first centenary 150 years, and the 3rd stamps because of it is again a heritage site from architecture point of view also. Now this museum, where we have about 40 million fossil specimens, one of the biggest museum in the regarding for fossil studies. Now postal stationery, as I told you that we just don't collect the stamps, we collect the postcards, we collect the envelopes, we collect the cancellations, everything. So here you can see that these are the 2 postcards issued by Jack Post on the occasion of birth centenary of a very famous geo artist, Zhendek Barian. All of you know that Barian, he was a famous paleo artist. His work of reconstruction of extinct life was very convincing. And that is why many countries all over the world have used his paintings on their stamps. Cancellations, we call it Sikka also. Cancellation also can play a very important role as far as fossils are concerned. You can see here different cancellations with different fossils. You can see amphibian, you can see reptile, you can see trilobite, as well as foraminifera. So megafossils, microfossils, everything can be on the cancellation or Sikka also. Now, when you go to our Indian stamps on paleontology, we have a very less number of stamps. If you see, till date, India has issued about 3,500 stamps, which are called as commemorative stamps. Out of these 3,500, only 5 stamps are related directly with fossils. You can see here on the top, one is on Stegadon Ganesha, and 4 plant fossils issued on the 50 years of Birbal Sahni Institute. So these are the only 5 stamps. But these 2 stamps, which are related with paleontology, are on Wadia as well as on Darwin. So these are the only stamps related with paleontology issued by India. So we must try to promote our postal department also to come out with more stamps on more fossils or fossil sites or paleo parks, whatever it may be. But that can create a lot of awareness among common man also. Now these are the special covers which are issued all over in India. You can see here on the left hand side in Gujarat, special cover issued on Balasinora dinosaur fossil. On the right hand side, you know that these are the stromatolites from Uttar Pradesh, and below again you can see stamp issued in on Stegadon Ganesha, this thing Sivalik Hills, and you can see the lower 2 stamps are related with Birbal Sahni Institute only. So after doing all this thing, what is the conclusion? Through philately, the national geo-heritage or geo-resources can be brought to the attention of common man, because all of you know that scientific community knows about this, but common man doesn't know about it. So we have to make aware about that. So this is the most cheapest way of bringing attention of common man, and it would bring awareness as well as interest among the amateurs. First, I would like to thank my father who actually promoted me to start collecting. Secondly, Professor Soni, ex-vice principal and ex-HOD of Ferguson College, who was again behind me to making this hobby. And finally, Dr. Ton from Holland, who always helped me for all these stamps also. And I am also thankful to the organizers for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Sir, thank you so much. I'm just going to stop sharing. एक मिनिट. Sir, can you stop sharing? एक मिनिट. थांबा, मीच करते. झालं. Okay, before we can go ahead, if there are any questions, the team. So the first question that comes in is, what is the status when we compare? You said that it is very, very less, right? So what is the problem? Why is it that the Indian Postal Department is not using the same techniques like they have happened, which the foreign countries are using?
Now, this is really a good question, because as I told you that many countries' economy is based on selling of stamps or issuing of stamps. We know that a very small country, which is our neighbor Bhutan, is a world famous country where some part of their economy is totally based on selling of stamps. So we have actually heritage. You take any biodiversity or geodiversity, we have got so much things which can be shown on stamps, and they can be actually our country can get a lot of funding also from that, from all over the world, because people, they're waiting or issuing of stamps on all these different subjects. And many countries, they issue their stamps by using different techniques also, because we know that generally paper is used as a material for the stamps, but apart from paper, they use different materials also, like ceramic, like cloth, like different metal foils. Then they can have different shapes also. They may be circular, they may be triangular. So different shapes can be also there. So one country has issued a stamp on dinosaur with the shape of dinosaur. So that creates a lot of interest among the people also to collect. So our country also should come out, and for that I think our community, paleontology community, should write to Government of India about this thing. Actually, we tried a lot during the International Geological Congress. We tried to contact Government of India, Postal Department, and to issue the stamp related with geology every day. But as it is postponed, we don't know what will happen in future. But actually, this can be done by efforts of all of us. Then only we can write to Government of India, and then we can come out with the stamps on our subject.
Sir, the next question is, with the internet coming in, okay, there's a lot of communication which is happening on the internet, okay? So when that comes in, when emails come in, has the importance of stamps gone down? And if then how do we promote our science through philately?
The first thing what they are told is correct, that because of this email and WhatsApp and all that thing that has created this thing, and which has, because of that only, this community has gone down. But still, if you take an example of other countries, they specifically promote philately, because they know that it has got a specific importance, because any subject can be learned through philately, or any subject can be taught through philately. So this is the only hobby through which we can study, as well as we can guide this to others also. So that is why they promote this philately. In our country, that where we are lacking. So that is the first thing. And secondly, what was the second question?
So the second question, that if letters are dying out, then does philately lose its significance? Does fossils through philately lose significance?
Yes, that is there. But again, we have to promote this philately by arranging some exhibitions, by arranging some presentations, by issuing the stamps. So there are different ways to promote this philately. So as you are telling, that is perfectly all right. That because of letter writing has gone down and all that thing, that is all right. But this hobby, now because of Corona, all of we know that everyone must have some hobby. In Corona, everyone was at home, and many psychologists have told that a person must have any hobby, whatever it may be. So this hobby, I think, can be a very good example of that because you can be at home, you can just have an album of stamps, and where you can get the information also, and there is no need of going anywhere out, and that can be a very good hobby. So hobby plays a very important role in a human being's life, and for that, philately will be, I think, very important.
Okay. If any of the stalwarts here, people from Paleontological Society of India, anything that you would want to ask or any comments that you would make on the first presentation?
Rajni, it's always pleasure to listen to the talk given by Ajit Vartak sir. So first I would like to congratulate him for excellent talk. And I think too, philately, I think paleontology can be popularized in common people, but still in the rural side, many people still depend on the postal. No doubt, the WhatsApp and other things have diminished the role of the post offices, but still large population is still depends on the postal. So I think it's a good idea to popularize the paleontology and the fossil. Thank you, Dr. Vartak.
Sir, Nigam साहब कुछ कहना चाह रहे हैं?
Vartak ji, congratulations for such a nice lecture. I heard you before in Aurangabad. Okay, and that time there was a proposal by Professor MP Singh to write a small popular article on it. Any follow-up on that?
No, sir. No, I will do, sir. So I will do, sir, definitely.
And I hope MP Singh Saab will not ask me counter question, but about the foraminifera park popular, because I have also not written it. Okay, good lecture. Keep it up.
Sir, Mishra साहब आप कुछ कहना चाह रहे हैं?
It's a very illustrative talk by Dr. Vartak. I have heard him earlier also. Yes, in India, way back in 1951, we had a fossil stamp on Stegodon Ganesha, then by PSI only 4 stamps. The institutions, specifically the GSI, the Wadia Institute, and some other, should come forward, because once we tried for the Kotasaurus skeleton at which is erected at Birla Science Museum, Hyderabad. That's very important specimen from India, and it can easily come on the postal stamp, but somehow it could not materialize. So more and more stamps, not only on dinosaurs, but so many other fossil subjects in India need popularization. And congratulations once again to Dr. Vartak, sir.
Thank you, sir. One more thing I would like to tell. One question is there that can we include the study of philatelic atom in the syllabus of students to make awareness? I would like to tell that Government of India has asked all the different boards to make it in their syllabus for 11th and 12th standard also. And presently they have added this philately part in political science. So probably we should do that also by using this in syllabus for school level at least. So to promote the students, because we know that unless we have this hobby under childhood only, then that can be promoted in future also.
Dr. Vartak, just a minute, Dr. Vartak, yes. I'll again request you just to give me a short write-up so that with that write-up we can contact Government of India, especially the postal department.
Okay, sir. Sure, sir. Thank you.
Sir, just one thing which I've been thinking. For example, the other day I was talking to Mishra Saab, I was speaking to people at GSI, and what we were saying is all our fossil sites are our heritage. Okay, yes. This is about inculcating the study of fossils or these fossils in our culture, in the sanskar that we give our children. Similarly, I think letter writing is also a cultural upbringing that we need to give our students. Our children, because children are forgetting the art of letter writing. Children are forgetting the art of communication. And in this, I think we can still make fossils and stamps relevant. We can probably promote them. People are not using normal letters, but I think they're surely using speed post. स्पीड पोस्ट हर जगह यूज हो रहा है, गवर्नमेंट से यूज हो रहा है, एंड उसके ऊपर अगर हम लोग बेटर रिसीट्स बना सके, बेटर आई थिंक पीपल विल स्टार्ट प्रिजर्विंग दोज रिसीट्स आल्सो इफ दे कैन हैव स्टैम्प्स ऑन देम.
Correct.
maybe we
Very
should,
good.
you know,
Yes, yes, yes. One of
because
the
Very good
everyone
idea.
who's sitting there, I think this is the best platform where I can just voice my thoughts.
yes.
I think Professor Devesh Sinha and Dr. Ashutosh Singh from DU have also joined us. So welcome. Thank you for being here. It's a great encouragement.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Ashutosh. Thanks for joining.
Thank you, Rajni. How are you?
Sir, I'm okay.
All well at family level?
So yes, sort of. My father has to undergo his valve replacement on the 1st. So we just went through an angioplasty. He is recovering. On the 1st, he will have the bigger surgery.
Okay.
Yes. Sir. Okay. Okay. So I think with this, with no further ado, we will have the next talk. And I request Khushi to please introduce our next speaker for the day, Dr. VP Mishra.
Thank you, ma'am. Our next speaker is Dr. Vijay Prakash Mishra, popularly known as Dr. VP Mishra, is a renowned paleontologist of India and has made immense contribution to paleontology. His fame travels wide through his works, but his introduction is essential for the new age workers and aspirants in the country. Dr. Mishra's journey started back in 1970 after passing his master's degree in geology from Lucknow University. He joined the Geological Survey of India as a geologist in 1975 and superannuated as its deputy director general in 2011. Dr. VP Mishra was the first student to receive a PhD under the guidance of the Doyen Professor Ashok Sahani. His PhD on fossil vertebrates from Kutch was awarded in 1976 by Lucknow University, in which he recorded then world's oldest fossil whales. This discovery brought into sharper focus the paleogeographical and evolutionary aspects of whales. His study made a global impact in the field of vertebrate paleontology. He continued to make important contribution in the field of paleontology by discovering a number of fossiliferous localities in India. He recorded 3 new genera and 36 new species of fossils. His work on Indian fossil sharks has been referred in the treatise on fossil fish. Bajpai and Thewison named a fossil whale Babicitus mishrai after him in 1998. He also discovered the first angiospermous fossil flower from northwestern Himalaya. The paleontological work he undertook in universities and GSI has led to several PhDs and detailed projects by BSIP and universities. He has published numerous research papers in Indian and international journals, including 4 scientific monographs. In 2002, he was awarded by the prestigious National Mineral Award by the Ministry of Coal and Mines, Government of India. He was member secretary of the Geosciences Advisory Council in 2011. Member of the Research Advisory Council of the Birbal Sahani Institute of Paleosciences, Lucknow, more than once. Though he has been associated with the activities of the Paleontological Survey of Society of India since 1973, he presently is the Secretary of the Paleontological Society of India, Lucknow. Dr. Mishra has been associated with several IGCP projects in different capacities. He has supervised of life-size models of Indian dinosaurs in the premises of GSI, Lucknow. He has been associated with the technical supervision of the Sivalik Fossil Park, Saketi, a national geological monument in Himachal Pradesh. It is because of his long-standing experience and efforts in preserving, promoting fossil sites that he makes just the apt speaker at today's forum. We are indeed privileged to have him amongst us today to share his experience on the making of the Sivalik Fossil Park. I request Dr. Mishra to deliver his talk.
So I'm just sharing your slides.
Please, please. Hello.
I hope everyone. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Pushi, for this. And I'm really thankful to the organizers of today's function on this PSI IFD 2021, which the society started way back in 2016, and the Pune chapter is having since 2018. So today I will be speaking on Shivalik Fossil Park, Saketi, with which I have been associated, say, for about 4 decades or so. Next, please. You know, the Shivalik Hills border the northern limit of the Great Indo-Gangetic Plain in India and stretch as a narrow belt of low-lying ridges. Because once we come to the Shivalik Fossil Park, we have to know what Shivaliks are. So this is a narrow belt of low-lying ridges running parallel to the main Himalayan ranges. And these have played a major role in shaping the economy and culture of the region since time immemorial. These Shivalik hills are made up of clays, silts, sandstones, and conglomerates brought down between 16 and about 0.6 million years ago by numerous fast-flowing rivers coming from the then rapidly rising mountain mass to the north. The Shivaliks represent about 6,000 meters of sedimentary sequence deposited in the floodplains. Next, please. Next slide, please. Consequent to the rise of Himalaya, in 3 to 4 stages, perhaps, there must have been progressive increase in the moisture, because once the Himalayas were rising, definitely the moisture content would have increased, and the change in the temperature of the area, which helped to support a thick forest vegetation. These climatic conditions helped the then existing Shivalik fauna multiply rapidly, and numerous forms of elephants, horses, cattle, pigs, giraffes, apes, rhinos, deer, rodent, carnivorous beasts, crocodiles, so many animals, these thrived in large numbers. But with the coming of the ice age about 1.5 to 2 million years ago, many of these animals became extinct, while some of these migrated to other areas like North and East Indian plains and also to the Narmada Valley in central India. Next, please. So the Shivaliks are in fact famous worldwide among the geoscientists for the large variety and a number of vertebrate fossils, mainly mammals. These are in fact called storehouse of mammals, entombed in these 16 to 0.6 million year old sediments. In addition to the mammalian fossils, we have the fossils of fish, very few amphibians, some snakes also, birds, crocodiles, tortoises, molluscan shells, leaf impressions, and fossil wood. These have also been recovered from Shivalik rocks. Since mid-19th century, several British and American paleontologists carried out intensive research on Shivalik. Just a moment. Can you have the full screen?
So
because I'm not seeing the whole.
So full screen ही है. अच्छा. Is there? Can one second? Can everyone see the full screen?
Yes, sir.
One second.
No.
Sir, I'll share again.
Please.
So दिखाई दे रहा है?
The lower part is not that much visible. Anyway.
Yeah, we can see.
Anyway, since mid-19th century, several British and American paleontologists carried out intensive research on Shivalik mammalian fossils, and the scientists of GSI mainly worked since inception in 1851, extensively worked on Shivalik fossils and have come out with several paleontological memoirs on Shivalik fossils. Next, please.
एक minute.
So these fossils were found so important, specifically the Shivalik vertebrates, that when in 1951 the GSI was celebrating its first centenary, they had the Stegodonganesa, an extinct elephant, on the postal stamp. This was incidentally the first postal stamp issued on a fossil subject in India, as Dr. Vartak told in the previous lecture. Next, please. I might be telling many times GSI because I belong to GSI, so I may call it VR, that will stand for GSI. So GSI has been actively engaged in the study of Shivalik stratigraphy And we had large collections of vertebrate fossils from northwestern India mainly. And within these Shivalik belts, the certain sections in the Shivalik range are richly fossiliferous, particularly those in the Markanda Valley, south of Nalagarh, and around Nurpur in Himachal Pradesh, north of Chandigarh in Haryana, and Uttarbani and Ramnagar in Jammu and Kashmir. Next, please. Here we have this Markanda Valley. This is in Himachal Pradesh. This, with its natural grandeur, richness of fossil vertebrates, and unique geological setup, is a mini representative of the vast Shivalik region, where rocks of lower Shivalik subgroup, that is Nahan Formation, to upper Shivalik subgroup, that is Kala Formation, or the upper boulder conglomerate, are exposed. Next, please. This is a location map of the Shivalik Fossil Park. It's very close to a place called Kalam, which is bordered to Himachal Pradesh and Haryana. And from Kalam, the Chandigarh is about 85 to 90 kilometers. Ambala is about 55 kilometers. And Nahan, the district headquarters of Sirmaur district, is about 22 kilometers. So this Kalam is the border area between Himachal in the north and Haryana in the south and southwest. And the fossil park is located about 6 kilometers, about 5.5 to 6 kilometers from Kalam. Next, please. This is the general stratigraphy of the Markanda Valley. Here we have the rocks exposed from the lower Shivalik to upper Shivalik. Lower Shivalik are known as here as Nahan Formation, while upper Shivaliks have been named in this area as Saketi Formation for the Tetrot, Pinjore, and the lower boulder conglomerate has been named as Kalar Formation. So this area has also the type localities for the Saketi and the Kalar formations of the upper Shivalik subgroup. Next, please. These are more beds exposed close to the Saketi area. And since 1960, the Geological Survey has been collecting and studying the Himachal Pradesh, specifically Shivaliks, and have collected a large number of fossil vertebrates. Next, please. This is the general geological map of the Saketi area or Markanda Valley. This is Markanda River. This one is Markanda River. And Saketi is here. And these are the Saketi Formation, or what we call Tetrot Formation rocks. And these are also upper Shivalik rocks. Next, please. This is another geological section of the this Saketi Formation rock in and around the Saketi area. Next, please. So the Geological Survey collected large number of fossils of the vertebrates from Shivaliks. So we started with one of my senior colleague, Mr. B.C. Verma, and another colleague, Dr. S.S. Gupta. We sorted about 335 numbers of these Shivalik vertebrate specimens, and we came out with a pictorial catalog of Shivalik vertebrate fossils from Northwest Himalaya, and recording and illustrating these fossils under 86 genera and 131 species in 145 plates in the year 2002. Next, please. Because we were having a lot of fossils unrecorded, undescribed, and not known to the future generations. So these we have recorded and illustrated, and anybody who wants to work out on detail in these fossils can work out. So in addition to GSI, the geoscientists of Wadia Institute of Himalayan Geology and the Punjab University Chandigarh have also contributed immensely to the paleontology and biostratigraphy of the Markanda Valley and have recorded a variety of fossil vertebrates. Next, please. This is a panoramic view. This is Markanda River here. And here in the center, we have the Shivalik Fossil Park, Saketi. We have to cross by a bridge at Kalam, from where it is about 5 to 6 kilometers. Next, please. So this Shivalik Fossil Park was opened to public on 23rd March 74. Is one of the perhaps after the South India's fossil wood parks, this is the only one which came in northern India. In northern India, it was perhaps the first. And this was developed by GSI in collaboration with the Himachal Pradesh state government. And it's a significant step towards preservation of prehistoric animal sites, restoration of their natural environment, and utilization of the same for scientific, educational, and recreational purposes. An area of about 1.5 square kilometer was fenced, and the park was open to public in March 74. Next, please. This was the guidebook which was issued during the opening of the Shivalik Fossil Park, and it was opened by the then Chief Minister of Himachal Pradesh, Dr. Y.S. Parmar. He was the first Chief Minister of Himachal Pradesh. So he has been very helpful in establishing this fossil park there at Saketi. Next, please.
So 1 minute.
So in 1951, GSI declared about 26 geosites into National Geological Monuments. We came up with GSI Special Publication 61 in 2001 on 150th anniversary of the Geological Survey. And 26 geosites were named or are declared as National Geological Monument. Shivalik Fossil Park is one of them. And perhaps even as on date, this is the only National Geological Monument in northern India. Next, please. So initially, in addition to the fencing of the park, where a lot of vertebrate fossils are exposed or we can collect it, we had a museum there. This is a very old, old building made up of the asbestos cement sheets, and this continued, say, from way back in 1976 when we used it as a workshop for the making the life-size models of some extinct animals. This we used as a museum from 1976 till 2013. But lot of visitors we had, lot of visitors. Here you can see the interior of this, the older museum we had here. And you can show the earlier slide, please. Here I am, sorry.
Yeah.
You see, one of our, an employee of the Geological Survey, he's just illiterate person whom we kept just for upkeep of the museum building there. He has become so conversant with the fossil names that he explains all the fossils and even the history of paleontology and geology and earth history to the visitors. So he just illiterate. He has not read even to 1 or 2 school class. But just by hearing us, we have been visiting to the park and the museum periodically. So just by hearing us, he has learnt all the names, and he can, just by seeing the fossil, he knows to which genus and species it belongs to that specific specimen. Next, please. So way back in this 2014 only, we had the GSI made this new museum, and specifically with the support and initiative of the then Director General, Dr. S.K. Abdhawan, it could be inaugurated. We got it constructed in 2011, but somehow we could shift it with the efforts of Dr. S.K. Abdhawan only in 2014. So now this is the new museum in the Shivalik Fossil Park. Next, please. Now this is the setup of the, in the hall we have the showcases and the fossils and the other things are displayed. Next, please. This is another a plaster of Paris model of dissected elephant has been kept there and shown that to which part, which specific bone belongs. the femur, the tibia, the vertebra, the ribs, the tusk are the molars. So just to tell the visitors that to which part of the an specific animal this specific fossil bone belongs. And this fossil park is visited by around 3 to 4,000 people per month. Though actually what happened, the approach road, there has been some problem of approach road, but now the HP government has come out with a good road. So more people are coming. Next, please. Some more. Even in 2018, the then Chief Minister of Himachal Pradesh, Sri Jairam Thakurji, also visited with his the then speaker and some of the MLAs also, and was briefed about the fossil park. And with that, he has earmarked a good amount of money for the development of the area. In addition to the park, he has okayed some money for the development of the park also, and in addition to the approach road specifically. Next, please. Next, please. So within the park, what we have done, that we have made and erected 6 life-size fiberglass models of the extinct animals, cephalic animals. Where those fossils have been found, close to that, these models were prepared. Very close to the fossil, the in situ fossil, these models were prepared. So this one is of the Stegodon Ganesha. Next, please. This is another skull fragment, skull of a Elephas, Hips Elephas isoudricus. All these specimens, fossils which I am showing, are displayed in the museum at Shivalik Fossil Park, Saketi. Next, please. Another, this is hexaprotodon or a hippopotamid. This is, I don't know whether these are the canines. It has 6 incisors. So that is why we have named it as hexaprotodon. The present day hippopotamus has only 4 incisors. So this cephalic hippopotamid is different and has been named as hexaprotodon cevalensis. A lot of fossils of this hexaprotodon cevalensis are found in cephalic beds. Next, please. Giraffids, we know today we don't have giraffids in India, but certain species belonging to the family Giraffidae lived in India between 1 crore and 10 lakh years ago in Indian cephalics. And fossils of these, based on their skull fragments, limb bones, and molars, we named it as a Civatherium giganteum, which are found in 30 to 10 lakh year old cephalic rocks, and their model, life-size model, has been erected there in the Shivalik Fossil Park. Next, please. These are some more molar fragments of the giraffe. These are all displayed in the museum in the Shivalik Fossil Park. Next, please. These are cervids or deer family. They are these incisor fragments, antler fragments, maxillary fragments with tooth, the lower jaw fragments. Cervid or deer family fossils are very common in cephalic rocks. Next, please. We also had the teeth of this saber-toothed tiger. Is a Paramacheirodus. These have also been found in cephalic area or in Saketi Fossil Park premises also. So we have erected a life-size model, a pair of life-size model of this saber-toothed tiger in the Shivalik Fossil Park. Next. We have lot of rodents, the mouse or the rat, those are called rodents. So several species of rodents fossils are found in cephalic rocks. You see, this is the lower incisor which comes out. It's not very big. This bar, this scale bar is equal to just a centimeter. So not very big size, very small size. So is the lower jaw fragment. Next, please. Even fossils of otters have been found in cephalic rocks, and This is one Enhydrodon, and this is Lutra. All these fossils are displayed in the Shivalik Fossil Park, Saketi. Many, because it's very close to Chandigarh. Chandigarh, specifically, lot of fossil, those who are studying fossil vertebrates, they keep on visiting Chandigarh area, or visit Chandigarh and visit this Himachal Pradesh for their fossil collections and field tours. So they do also visit to Saketi Park, and we have displayed and kept these fossils there. Next, please. Lot of bovids are found in the cattle family. Lot of bovids, very large sized skulls have been found. Very large sized. Next, please. Another bovid, we named it as Hemibas tricornis. Very large sized bovids are found. Many of these are, I should say, most of these are extinct now. Next, please. In Shivaliks, we do get hominid remains, the Ramapithecus. Among the primates, we have the Dryopithecus also in Shivaliks. But Ramapithecus is a hominid. Some researchers name it as a Shivapithecus, also have kept it under Shivapithecus. But anyway, so their fossils have been found in the Shivalik beds. And one molar has been kept here because these are very rare. So one molar has been kept there in Shivalik Fossil Park, Saketi. Next, please. There's so many other, some more photographs. This is canine of a hippopotamid. This is the lower molar of an extinct elephant, an extinct variety of goat, mandible. This is the molar of an extinct horse. So all these are displayed there in the Shivalik Fossil Park Museum. Next, please. In addition to the mammals, we have reptiles also. Good crocodilian jaw. This is the upper view. This is the side view of the upper skull and the lower mandible. Next, please. This is ghadial. The previous one was crocodile. This is ghadial. So their fossils have also been found. These are vertebra and other remains. Next, please. In addition to crocodiles, we do get very large number of plastron and carapace fragments of tortoises or turtles in Shivalik rocks. Very large sized. So next, please. So many species. We can go to the next. So based on the large sized carapace and plastron fragments, the one we can see here itself. So close to the place where we got this plastron fragment, we made a life-size restoration of the tortoise Colossochelis there itself. Next, please. We have been organizing workshops and seminar there at Saketi itself, just to popularize the subject and bring the paleontologists there only, and among the locals also, so that they come forward to protect the area. So way back in 2003, we organized the workshop. You can see Dr. Mohabe is also here. Dr. Sonakia is also there, who discovered the hominid Homo erectus from Narmada Valley. Next, please. We keep on, I would say we means the Geological Survey. It keeps on preparing and distributing a lot of pamphlets for popular reading. So this was the latest one. This perhaps we prepared way back in 2008 or 9. Next, please. So way back in 2013, I superannuated in 2011, but in 2013, we came up with a catalog of all the fossils which are kept in the Shivalik Fossil Park Museum. This has photographs, taxonomic status, locality, horizon, collector's name, its field season of all the fossils displayed in the Shivalik Fossil Park Museum have been catalogued in this and illustrated. And even the photographs of all the life-sized models of 6 of the extinct animals, those are also here. In addition, detailed geological maps and lithocolumns of the Shivalik strata in and around Saketi, mainly investigated by GSI, have also been included in this catalog. It's about a 311-page catalog. And this just forms a basis if somebody wants to further study those fossils. These fossils have not been described. Some have been described, but some of these have not been described in detail, which was not possible for us to describe each and every GSI for certain regions. So if somebody is interested, he can get all these details and work out it in detail, detailed taxonomy and discussion also. Next, please. About 2 years back, this is the geological monument, but we have to have it as a geoheritage site. That is the main purpose. And 2 years back, with the Society of Science, Dr. Tripathi is dealing with it. We came up with a special volume of the Geography and You magazine, and the India's spectacular geoheritage sites. We gave about eight or 9 sites. Shivalik is one of that which I gave the details. So this area also needs to be protected a bit more. The museum is well maintained. It is being periodically maintained. The new one is specifically being periodically maintained by the Geological Survey. But the park needs more attention by the Himachal government, which what I came to know that yes, they are doing it. The approach road was in very bad shape, but now that has been okayed. Now you can go around the year. Previously, we couldn't go during rains. We just got cut off from the road was not motorable. But now you can approach, but still some work is needed. So I just keep a track from the people who are working in the area at the moment. They say that yes, Himachal government is providing some money for some more for the development of the park also. Next, please. Thank you very much for the patient hearing. Sorry, I was not personally able to share the screen, and thanks to the team. Thank you very much. Thank you. Any question? If I will be glad to.
So there's one question, which has come on the group. They're asking that why is it that when someone travels to Himachal, why is it that the tourism department doesn't list this fossil site? Because you're seeing that it's 73, 74.
Ma'am, I started going way back in 1983, 84. I started going to this fossil park, and it was part of the in the tourist circuit. And there is within this premises, just in front of the museum, we have a small tourist office of the Himachal government. So it is in their circuit.
Okay.
They name it. If somebody says that it is not there, I will find out and convey it to the Himachal government through my resources. Through my resources, I will convey, because as far as I know, the Himachal, they have a cafe. They made the tourism department made a good cafe. I have not visited during last 10 years, but I keep a track. So they have got a good cafe there within the campus of the Shivalik Fossil Park, Saketi, very close to the museum. And there is a guest house within the campus. About 3 to 4 rooms are there, bedrooms, very good size. I used to stay there for months anyway. And a small tourist hut means a tourist office is there. So what is the present situation? I will find out and see if it is kept okay.
So this comes from some student. What you just said that you get a lot of bovids. They wanted to know what are bovids. Maybe you can explain that.
Bovid are the cattle. These present day say these cows, ox, and all these. These are the bovids. But very large size bovids were there. The bass, bubelus, hemibass, likewise. So very large size skulls, because in vertebrates it is the skull and the tooth which gives us a better idea about the taxonomy. So we mostly study and display and exhibit the skulls and the molar fragments. So these bovids are the cattle.
Okay. Sir,
OVD.
another question. Some students are saying that we have fossils. Firstly, a lot of young children have now started because of movies. Okay, they have started understanding what fossils are. But why is it, for example, you said we had giraffe kind of animals, we had huge saber-tooth lions. Why isn't such information given out in books? Why in NCERT books, when a lot of things are coming up, why aren't such information given in school books and NCERT books?
Definitely.
There's the young children who are...
As a GSI, when I was in GSI, we used to have a lot of exhibitions, and myself used to give lectures in one place or the other, popular lectures. There I used to inform and display and tell about these things. But bringing these things in the syllabus or the school books, we have not been directly involved. So it is from the academician part perhaps. But to the school children, I have been exposed to about several, if not like several thousand school students through various exhibitions during my service tenure or even afterwards. So we have been telling. But yes, this information is not coming out in only the discovery of Dr. Sunakia, the hominid from Narmada Valley. Perhaps this has come out in the school books. But even perhaps dinosaurs, many scientists, once you meet various scientists, not only geoscientists, many other scientists, they are not aware that we are having a lot of dinosaur fossils in India, a lot of dinosaur eggs. So that is lacking. Yes, we have to popularize it more and more and provoke the academicians that this comes in the school books.
I think Charuak Chaskar has some question for you. Yeah. Charuak, can you put on your video and ask the question?
Ma'am, sorry, my camera isn't.
It's okay, you can ask the question.
Oh, he says that there didn't seem to be as many Mesozoic fossils as there were fossils from. No, it's just not like that. Actually, if you see the geological map of India, so there are certain things which allow the fossils to preserve. So in the Mesozoic rocks, there are fossils. If you go to the South India, they're innumerable. Even in the Kutch region, Jaisalmer, in all these areas, there are fossils. And as far as Himalayas are concerned, where we have today Himalayas, there were Tethys, the sea. So the marine fossils are there, but in the higher part, in the Spiti region, we do have a lot of Mesozoic fossils. So you have to see the geological map of India prepared by Geological Survey.
Okay. Sir, are you there?
And you can know where the are there, where older rocks are there, and some rocks, all are fossil, not all, but yes, many of these are fossiliferous within India also.
Yes. I think Omkar Janrao has a question for you.
Yes, sir. So why don't the government implement educational tools to this fossil parks instead of other tools?
Government, I don't know, but yes, various schools do have the such. When I started first going to Saketi way back in 83, 84, once in 1985, you will not believe, at that time, you have just to go on foot from Kalam because there was road was not good. But about one single day, there were more than 1,500 people who visited it. Though the area is about 6 kilometers from Kalam, where we had the metal road. So people and the students and the younger generation, and even those who are not scientists, even the common people, they are interested. We as a geologist also have to provoke them and popularize our subject. Simply, we paleontologists have to popularize the paleontology.
Okay.
Specifically, the younger ones are very enthusiastic, and you have to tell them by going to their level.
Okay. I also see some other senior members have joined. Professor S.P. Mohan from Madras has joined. Professor V.K. Joshi has joined. Yes, namaste, sir. Okay, so any of the seniors who would want to say, okay, there is another question. I don't know. Sir, if there is a need to protect the geological site, what is the role of GSI and whom to contact for providing the information about irregularities within the geological site? One of the example of not good care is the plant fossil park or the marine fossil park at Chhattisgarh, Mahendragarh district.
Now I'm a retired, but anyway, I can speak a bit. The GSI initially has some different type of work anyway. So initially it declared 26 areas, but now about 32 or 34 areas as National Geological Monument. Those have to be protected by the local administration. Here at Saketi, what I gave the presentation, Shivalik Fossil Park, Saketi, actually the locals, whenever I used to visit there and stay there, so the people used to say why it is not being maintained. So maintenance lies with the Himachal government. We were maintaining, the GSI is maintaining only the museum, which is very good. Even today it is in very good shape, and we have come with all the information there. But it is the local government which can maintain it, the approach road and the so many other facilities. As regards this Mahendragarh, yes, it was a small locality, and recently we have heard that the local administration has taken care, and the Birba Sahani shoot and some university, nearby university, these enthusiasts, they have come forward and they are trying to protect the site. And one peculiar thing, yesterday, Dr. Kathal was giving a lecture at that Bhatinda, CUP Bhatinda lecture. So he was quite not. I hope the academicians should follow it. He says that once we go to the field, take 40 students, we go to a fossil site, every student starts picking 2 or 3 fossils. So every year, if we keep on going, we will take away thousands of fossils. So he said that it would be better not to inform where the new locality is or where the fossils are. But that is, I don't know. So we have to be sensitized. We have to be sensitized that yes, we take the photograph and have some specific fossils in our museum, and that was the main reason that we collected these fossils and kept in the museum there itself. And though for initial 40 years, GSI was not having a good museum. Only in 2014, we could have a good museum building. It was only in an asbestos cement sheet, but several people were visiting it. And we have tried to keep it in proper shape and come out with a catalog and all those things. So it will take time. It will take time, but gradually, yes, we have to. And we have to protect the site also. We have to protect the sites also.
So just just one thing, if many of you know that initially in botany, studies of botany, we used to have herbariums, where every student used to go and collect botanical parts. But now the government or the Department of Biodiversity has put a violation. They say no making of herbariums. No more will we go and collect it and prepare herbariums. So something like that.
So this has to come from the universities and the academicians. That yes, one of my senior colleague, Mr. Anil Saxena, has written. Yes, he's my senior colleague. He worked in that Shivalik Fossil Park Saketi area for placer gold. A gold grain collected by him is also kept there. Actually, I was mainly speaking on the vertebrates, so I couldn't show his slide. But we have displayed it and mentioned it in our catalog also, that and showed he was our senior colleague.
Sir, thank you so much. I think it has invited a lot of discussion that shows, yes, I think Okay, one last question from Dr. Vanzarwadkar before we
please,
move to the
please,
next.
ma'am.
No, not this is not a question, ma'am. Thank you,
No,
ma'am,
sir.
for allowing me.
No.
I request Dr. VP Mishra, sir,
Ji.
on behalf of Paleontological Society of India, please present at least one model to the Metro Cities Park, and you give a plate there presented by Paleontological Society of India. A silicon model, what you talk about, you prepare so many models.
What exactly you want to do?
One particular model can be presented to the Metro City Gardens, the popular city gardens, and it will be
Actually,
written
society is not preparing model. Society is not preparing model.
If it is possible, so that you can write presented by Paleontological Society of India.
No, I think we should rope in corporate social responsibility, because we need a lot of money for making these models.
Yeah.
So Paleontological Society can probably give its intellectual property.
Yeah.
But we need to rope in if we want to have popularize. What he is meaning to say is, if every city garden has a model and it is more life-sized, it will bring about popularization amongst common public. But for that, then we all need to take efforts that we work with the local municipal government and find funds. If we find a source of funds, I'm sure Paleontological Society of India will be able to support them intellectually.
No, why I am telling, because we have in our city dinosaur model. That's why.
Yes,
actually, if you contact the Calcutta office of the Geological Survey, there is a curatorial wing, so they can provide you with some fossils, and models will be difficult. They may ask for some amount, I don't know, but you may write, because we have a curatorial wing and we have some modelers there. So it depends that you write to the DGGSI, and Calcutta office or through its regional offices may provide you some fossils, rocks also, because in addition to fossils do keep rocks also, and models. I'm not very sure, but give a try. Okay.
Dr. VK Joshi wanted to say something, so please. Yes, sir. We can hear.
Namaskar, Joshi sir.
First of all, I would like to congratulate Vijay for his wonderful talk. I was not associated with Saketi directly, but indirectly I was in Chandigarh.
Yes, sir, you have always been
conceived, and I visited that area when nothing was there.
Yes.
And today I was astounded to see that museum and so many things. And we used to live in tents in Saketi with all the wildlife also around. But anyway, that is now over. I just wish to say one point. Media plays a very big role in all this. And to popularize this thing in media, we need a totally different approach. I've been doing this for last 20 years, and I realized that people don't understand the language of Tatrot, Pinjor, and things like that.
Yes,
they understand language, a different kind of language. Similarly, the museum, etc., they should have, when you have visitors there, if there is some sound and light arrangement, that will add to the beauty. All these things have to be thought by, not by geologists, because our thinking is limited. We have to associate others also in this game, so that how to present your fossil to the public. One thing. Secondly, in Himachal Pradesh, people know Saketi because it is in Himachal Pradesh. Ask a Lucknow wala, have you been to Saketi? Well, what are you talking? Nobody knows about it. So how to make it known? How do you know Colgate toothpaste, or how do you know so many film actors? You know them. Why? By the media, through the media. So there should be a publicity tirade. All those officers who have retired from GSI and have a flair for writing or photography or anything, they can join hands in this. While in service, you can't do it. But after service, after you're retired, you can all do it. I've been doing it single-handedly all these years. But I think we have Vijay, we have Mohabe, we have so many people. And Mohabe has been doing a lot of work. I have seen read his reports often in the newspapers. So it is just to encourage, let the public know that there is some organization called GSI and the fossils discovered by GSI. There's so many things can be written about it. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you very much and congrats again.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I think if I open the floor for discussion from the seniors, we will delay Dr. Mohabe's talk further.
Thank you.
I think
Thanks,
we'll
everyone.
discussion for the end of this session, the morning session. And with no further ado, I request Vibhas from ISER Pune to please introduce our next speaker, Dr. D.M. Mohabe.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. It is indeed my privilege to introduce our next speaker for today, who is a towering personality in the field of paleontology. Ladies and gentlemen, I present you Dr. Dhananjay Mohabe, also fondly known as the Dinosaur Man of India. He is acclaimed worldwide for his pioneering research on Indian dinosaurs. After finishing his MSc Tech from Nagpur University in 1975, Dr. Mohabe had joined GSI as a geologist in 1977 and continued in various capacities in the GSI and retired in 2013 as a Deputy Director General Northern Region, Lucknow. During his service in GSI, he also pursued his PhD from RTM University of Nagpur, focusing on the microstructure and classification of dinosaur eggshell in 1991. Dr. Mohabe is a recipient of prestigious National Mineral Award in 1986 for his maiden discovery of Indian dinosaur eggs and nesting sites in India and for the contribution to research on Indian dinosaurs. He was also conferred the L. Ramarao Birth Sentinel Award in 2012, sponsored by Geological Society of India, Bangalore, for lifetime contribution to Indian paleontology and stratigraphy. Presently, he is a senior scientist on US National Science Foundation grant for international and collaborative research project with University of Washington and University of Michigan. He also co-principal investigator for Ministry of Environmental Sciences, Government of India funded project for tracking biotic and environmental changes across Deccan volcanic associated sediments. He has done several national and international collaborative research programs related to environment, biodiversity, and global mass extinction Cretaceous Paleogene boundary. He has played a remarkable role in popularizing geological sciences through the lecture series for students at different levels in schools and colleges and many other earth sciences institutes. Dr. Mohabe has published over 120 peer-reviewed research journals publications with high citations in national and international journals with high impact factor. He is also editor of 6 special volumes and field guide on late Cretaceous of India. But his prime identity remains his contribution to understanding the Indian dinosaurs and placing India on the world map in terms of the dinosaur research. He continues to play a significant role in creating awareness about the occurrence, distribution, and preservation of dinosaur fossil sites in India. One such site is Rayoli. I request Dr. Mohabe sir to kindly enlighten us with his journey of Rayoli dinosaur fossil site, the challenges faced and the success achieved, and of course the path ahead. Thank you.
So I'm going to pause the recording as per your request. I'm not recording your presentation. So the recording has been paused as my word goes to you. So please
Thank you.
take stage.
Like that. Thanks, Dr. Rajni, and for inviting me to give my presentation. And I will congratulate Paleontological Society of India, especially Pune and Mumbai chapter, and also Department of Environment, Pune University, for organizing this great event on the eve of International Fossil Day. And I was specifically asked by Dr. Rajni to confine and give my talk on this Rayoli Dinosaur Fossil Park and Field Museum, where I am very actively involved with Government of Gujarat, especially Tourism Corporation, Government of Gujarat, and the Department of Forest over there in developing this. And of course, the Wawa Communications, where I am a technical consultant to them. And we are trying to establish this museum and refurbish the park and the museum as well. So I'll be speaking on the Rayoli Dinosaur Fossil Park and the Field Museum today. And it's not any fairy tale. I'm telling you the story of the dinosaur, what were there that 67 million years back. Now, just I will try to compose my talk because I will be just speaking on the dinosaur field museums and the some aspects of geotourism and the field museum, etc. But it is important for me that in the background, people they should know what is the history of dinosaur finds in India and their stratigraphical context and taxonomic study that I will be dealing very briefly. But my main focus will be on the discovery of Rayoli dinosaurs, Rayoli Field Museum, and developing the Rayoli Dinosaur Fossil Park. Now, there are many key players. Of course, Geological Survey of India is the one who in the 1981 were able to discover this site. And there were not many sites since the pre-independence to post-independence, only two sites. One is the Jabalpur and the other was the Pizdura in Maharashtra, they were known. But it was after the gap of almost 100 years, the Geological Survey of India, we were able to find a good site in the Kheda district in Gujarat. So they were the key players. And then developing whatever site was discovered, both the dinosaur egg sites and the fossil sites over there. Then it was the Tourism Corporation of Government of Gujarat who got deeply involved. And it was for us to impress upon them that this site is of international significance because it is the only site in India which enjoys a lot of scientific credibility both at international and national levels. And government of Gujarat, especially Tourism Corporation of India and the Department of Revenue, they realized the importance of this. And we floated many of the international geological field excursion to that site. And we, in association with government of Gujarat, and knowing its significance, they came forward, and it is the only site that has been declared protected under Bombay Police Act 1951, and under that legislation that it's a protected site. No other site enjoy such protection on the line of Archaeological Survey of India. So we always very thankful to government of Gujarat. And then it's a Wama Communication Ahmedabad who are very deeply involved right from the first phase of development of the museum, then the second phase, and then the third phase of dinosaur site. And then of course, because Geological Survey of India, we had a lot of collaboration with University of Michigan, with Jeffrey Wilson, where we most of the fossils, they are coming and we are visiting there, and we have developed many of the fossils there, because in India, basically, we lack many of the preparation facility. And of course, Department of Forest and Environment, Government of Gujarat, who are helping us in developing that fossil site. And of course, right now I am the Department of Geology, and it is here that I am provided all the facilities, and thank you very much for that. Now, I will tell you what are the dinosaur finds in India. Everyone knows about it. This particular picture and the cartoon which you are seeing, that typically shows the Indian Abelisaurid theropods and Titanosaurid dinosaur created by the Michigan master craftsman over there. And now, you know, because the other day only on 20th, I presented a talk. So some of these slides, the few slides, because Dr. Rajni, she was very specific to see that I avoid duplication of the slides in my presentations here. So here you see, it is only in the 1820 that the first dinosaur bone was collected by W.S. Seaman. He was just British civilian officers posted at Jabalpur, and here he collected the first fossil from the limit of formation in Jabalpur from Bada Shimla. But no one knew, and this fossil 1828, it was eventually 4 years after the first dinosaur ever described in the world, that Megalosaurus by backline from Jurassic of Great Britain. So this was the second find in the world, and it was 14 years before even the word dinosauria was coined by Richard Owen. This is because that time it was collected, it was the center of province and all. This is some sort of a specimen which was collected by this William Schliemann. And now the city, a small town there near Jabalpur, it is named after him as a Schliemanabad. Now the first fossil which was collected by Schliemann, because it was very difficult. It went through a series of hands, right? From Pillsbury in 1832 to James Prinsep in 1837 to Thomas Oldham to Hugh Faulkner. Now these Hugh Faulkners was also involved in excavations and for the Shivalik fossils over there, along with Cotley. And they also were collecting many fossils from that Yamuna cave excavations. And then finally, this fossil it reached to Richard Lydekker was working in India, and after the gap of almost 45 years, that this fossil was formally described as Titanosaurus indicus. So this was the only vertebra, and then in between some limb bones and others were discovered. So this particular fossil, this 2194, it has become a holotypic caudal vertebra GSI. But these particular specimens, after it was discovered, it went missing for over last 100 years, and a plastitype was established for that. But we, in course of the museum research in Geological Survey of India, we were able to rediscover this specimen in the Indian Museum collection itself there. And then we redescribed this specimen in 2002. But this Titanosaurus indicus, which was established by this was by Richard Lydekker, it is currently considered as invalid genus and species. Now they were the pioneering researchers, Faulkner, Lydekker, von Mettler, and Hislop. And most of their finds on the dinosaurs others which were being described, it was concentrated around Jabalpur and Pisdara in central India. But they are often consisted of isolated surface collected bones. It was only here in the year 1917 to 1933 that Charles Matley from British Museum Naturalist in London, he visited. And during his 2 expeditions, he made a large collection of dinosaur fossils. And he was very systematic. It's not only he prepared this map, you can just imagine a limit of formation that rest over the Gondwana sediments over there, Jabalpur formation. And he had very meticulously created this map. You can imagine 8 inch to 1 inch wide. And here it is he is the one who described this particular section. You can see here what he described as a limit of formation over there. We have a Jabalpur here, formation Gondwanas, we have a green clays, we have a lower limestone, we have Matanodudal base, we have upper limestone, and we have the upper side, which is not everywhere. And then they are all covered with the Deccan traps. But most of our dinosaurs or the layers of interest, they are in the that is Carnosaur bed in the just at the contact between the green sand and lower sand, and then we have ossiferous conglomerate, and then we have the sauropod beds. It is here. So most of the collections and best dinosaurs, they come from Jabalpur area, and that is from Bada Shimla and Chota Shimla area. And the most collections were made by Charles Matley during his 2 expeditions in 1917, 1919, and 1932 and 32. And it was sponsored by Percy Slyden Trust, London. But the irony is that most of these collections, or 300, 350 chests of fossils, they were removed to British Museum. At that time also, at the same time, many of the collections made by Faulkner and Cotley from Shivalik, with my colleague, Dr. V.P. Mishra, he presented a very nice lecture over there. They were removed to London Museum. Not only they were even auctioned in the London market, and still many of the best collection is there in the British Museum, London History, and also from the collection of Lemata and these dinosaurs coming from this Jabalpur area. So I'll be speaking, and it is a classic paleontologic indica with Charles Matley, and along with Huynh and Matley, they published in 1933. Now here you can see the map that is produced by Matley, and you can see this is Jabalpur, And that time it was the Central Barar province over here, and it is Jabalpur locality, and it is Pisdura near Nagpur, that is Chandrapur district. And these were the two main localities that were producing dinosaur fossils in India. Gujarat, it came much later. Here you can see this, but here, and then Gujarat and partly they came much later here. Now here, just I will give you a brief what description were given by Charles Matley, and what he identified the limit of, they were sauropods, Titanosaurus indica, Titanosaurus blandfadi, Leptosaurus, Entoctosaurus, and then he also theropod, Indosuchosaurus, Limitosaurus, this long list you are saying. And they were also small theropod, Levicucus, Compsognathus, Coelurodi, Diptosaurid, but none of them are presently considered as valid, excepting Indosuchus reptilius, Indosuchus matley, and Levicucus indicus, and it is only Entoctosaurus which is nowadays a Ginosaurus subspecies. So most of these species that and genera, they have become invalid today. And what is being considered today after the gap of almost what it was reported and studied by Matley in 1932-33. Now these are the species which are considered released from the Indian subcontinent. Among the sauropods, we can the ISIS, Sir Skolboti, a main contribution by Indian Statistical Institute, and then we have a Ginosaurus substitute here, and then we have Indosuchosaurus reptilius, Indosaurus matley, they are large bodied Abilisaurus sauropod. We have Rajasaurus nervosus, and Rhyolis is the site by Geological Survey of India, and then we have some small spheropod, Levicucus indicus from Jabalpur, and then we have another that very recently, just 2 years back, we are still working on from Pisdura in Chandrapur district. So these are the only valid taxa of dinosaurs which are considered valid in India. Now, because it is very important for us to see when we are trying to do this is a field research, finding new fossil locals and potential hotspots. Now locating original excavation sites from where the collections made, because I said there are very old collections right from 1828 till the last before pre-independence, that is at least till 1932, by Britishers and as well by the Americans. So a lot has happened in between. Here we have to see what has been discovered. Many of the fossils, they are not there, they are in a very bad shape. Even if you visit most of the fossils, they are retained there in the British Museum, or some of them you will find in American Museum Naturalistic. And whatever has come back to India after they were removed to Britain, they are very well displayed in Geological Survey of India and Indian Museum and GSI galleries. But many of the fossils, they are missing or they are in the very bad shape. So this is very important and then it's not only that, but because this original excavation site, they are also very important for us. Say from Jabalpur, from which level, from which location exactly they had been. So this is some sort of a investigation that is needed, and the Geological Survey had done a lot of work on that, and we were able to find many of the original sites of Matley, and from where these dinosaur bones were collected, not only from Jabalpur, but also from Pisdura. Then museum research. Now tracking specimens housed in the repository, it is very difficult because there are thousands of specimens, especially lying in Indian Museum, Calcutta. And then there are other places, because the Britishers, even they place some of the museums, not only in the GSI Calcutta, but many of the specimens in Central India as well. So it has become a very challenging for us. So finding, rediscovering specimen declared as lost or untraceable, it was another challenge to us. And disturbing many of the specimens, fixing fossils, because they were misplaced or displaced, and they were really not able to find. And then of course there was a advanced research vertebrate preparation facilities in standard molding gas costing. That is a problem in India. We do not have any real advanced vertebrate research facility available in India. Now this is, I am just trying to show this because this is a Gyrosauros subtentilus. Earlier it was described as Entoctosaurus subtentilus, collected from Jabalpur. And this is still all this old collection. It is there at British Museum, London. I've been working with some of my colleagues, where I have a collaborative work, and there we were able to. The original fossil saw, you can see it here. They are all here in the racks in the British Museum, London. But they are very reluctant to part with the specimens, but at least they are able to provide the some of the 3D printed. We are trying to produce the at least the plaster casts or the 3D printouts from these fossils which we are there. So these are the Dinosaurs removed to India in 1932 by Matley. Earlier it was Antarctosaurus and revised to Genosaurus subtentorialis in 1930. Now, this is something about the Genosaurus. These are some of the fossils which are there. Part of these Genosaurus, they are in the Indian Museum of Geological Survey of Curatorial Division. It was very difficult because they also were in pieces. So this particular fossils, GSI K467 and all. So it was very difficult, but then we were really able to test this fossils over here. And the other fossils, you see this, you are saying, this fellow was hanging there in the wall of the GSI and it was very difficult. So it was in the Indian Museum and Geological Survey of India, it is very challenging to retrieve this old specimen collected by the British. But then GSI has taken it as an incentive and then we were able to retrieve many of the specimens. So part of the Genosaurus subtentorialis collection is there in this. You can see here, this is of course Jeff Wilson is there, my colleague Dave Melikis, and this is a very dedicated staff of curatorial division in the Indian Museum from Geological Survey of India, and this David, where we are working together to trace the original collection which was considered as lost, and eventually the fossil that was the first fossil, it discovered from India by Schliemann. After 150 years, we were able to find it in the Indian Museum. And it was it was some sort of a rediscovery there. Otherwise, a plastic type was established for this particular specimen. Now, there are many other specimens. These, you can see here the Abelis. Sorry, I'm showing these slides because they are very important slides for us, because the original fossils are there, whether they are lost or not in the collection. This is the femur of the theropod Abelis femur. This was in 4 or 5 pieces. And it was very difficult because even in the curatorial division, there in pieces, there are thousands and lakhs of collections of fossils bones there. And then, but anyhow, it was a good exercise. GSI gave us a lot of encouragement, and we really able to see pieces and join them. And it was the one small Lewis sequence and the other. And then this is the one. This is very important because this original fossils, the Genosaurus, it was removed to Britain, London by Matley, and that was recently described. Earlier it was Antarctosaurus, but then it was very difficult because we heard that there is a plaster cast was sent in 1933 back by British to India, but there was no record. They said that we sent it to Central India. We went from the series of medium in Central India to Western India, and then ultimately it was in pieces lying in the Central Museum in Nagpur itself, which is known as a Ajaib Ghar. And then we were able to find it, and then we tried to pick the bones here. So you can see the hind limb, femur, and the tibia and fibula of this particular piece. And I am after this to see that these original fossils are sent, at least, but from the original fossils, we are able to get the 3D print, and hope we will at least have a very good scientific replica of these the fossils which is now there in the British Museum. Now, this is some of the collection which is there currently in the Indian Museum, Calcutta. This is the Levisequus indicus, a very small theropod, because we talk of a very giant theropod. It is the only, you can see a beautiful caudal vertebra over here. This is this very small theropod. And then here you see very recently found another small theropod in Pizarra, which is under description. These are of the size of almost, you can say, a big cat size, you can say, a very small theropod. You can see the right dentary. We are trying to work on this fossils. This is the fossils very similar to this, that is Masiacasaurus noplady. There may be sister taxon for that. And here it is very interesting. So most of the fossils aside, they are removed to Britain, and presently in the British Museum Natural History. Here you see Burnham Brown. He visited, and he is the one who is responsible for giving the description of Tyrannosaurus Rex. He is the one who established the Tyrannosaurus, which you had been saying in Jurassic Park. This is Boroman Line, 1873. He also visited India in 1922, when he was returning from South Africa by ship. And then he again visited this area. And he was able to visit the site that was visited already by Matley. And then he collected many the theropods, skull bones, and titanosaurus, and then he removed all these bones. This you can see the armor. Again to the American Museum of Natural History. So many of the best Indian collections are still there, American Museum of Natural History, or it is there in the British Museum. And I have been trying very hard to see that these specimens or the original fossils come back to India. There, it is not ruled out totally, because these authorities from American Natural History and also from British Museum, they are helping us at least right now we can send you a cast or 3D reprints of these specimens. But we are very much after them to see that original specimens are repatriated back to India. And it is now Paleontological Society of India. I would be interested to see that they are also involved in to see that our original fossils, they find their place back to India. Now, this is some of the collections when we were working, because then Matty collected many of the collections from Jabalpur during these two expeditions in 1917-19. He collected many of these bones. And most of the collections, almost over 350 chests, they were shipped to London. But some of the collections, that time it was left in the Indian Museum. And some of these, you will wonder, these fossils, they are not even opened up. They are still there in the packing, which is there wrapped by Matley himself. And fortunately, we were looking for certain collections in 2010 and 12. We were able to find in the racks of Indian Museum many of these collections, and they are wrapped now. All the cotton there is wrapped. So it's something we had a big care. These are undescribed collections collected by Matley, but now we are able to trace that, and presently we are able to work on these specimens. And Curatorial Division, Calcutta, they have been trying to help us in relocating many of these collections made by these Britishers over there, and still not opened. Now, most of the collections, whatever was done for these dinosaurs, I mean pre-independence, they are either Indian Museum, Calcutta, or it is in the British Museum Natural History, or it is in the American Museum, New York over there. So most of the collections, partly it is in Calcutta, partly it is in London, or partly it is in there. So we have been trying to see that all these collections are described collectively. And you see, this is one of the things you can see in the, if you go to the Indian Museum there. Many of the collections, which was not, I was just telling you about the material, it is there. They are not even opened up. Even those original packs with the cotton wrappings, it is all rotten there. But we were able to dig out. We are doing a big museum research, trying to find out the old collection with because J. Pilson, we had a collaboration between GSI and all. And then we were able to see many of the collections, both from the invertebrate and vertebrate Shivalik gallery in the Indian Museum. You can see many of these collections, you see, they were hanging here, many of the places. So we made many of the collections. We were trying to restore the fossils over there. Sorry. Okay, so now you can see this is, I am trying to show you, these are the original site from where the Matley carried out its excavation in Chota Shimla in 1931-32. This photograph you can see here. It was very difficult for us. We have the collections partly there in the British Museum and partly there in the Indian Museum or GSI Curatorial Division. But we really wanted to see from where the fossil, because it is impossible that he has removed all the collection and there. And in course of the investigation which we have taken from GSI, and then we were really able to, it was very difficult to find the original sites from which these fossils were excavated by Matley in 1932-33, and also before that from Jabalpur in 1917-19. And you see these are the very original photographs taken in those years in 1932-33 by Matley himself. But with the help of this British Museum Archives, they helped us in locating many of these old photographs and their help. So we were able to find the original sites. So these are the original site from the Chota Shivla, where the Matley made his collections from there. So it was a really three, and still those bones are there from where he described the best collection of Janosaurus, which are formerly described by Matley as Entactosaurus.
Sir, show mode में जाइए ना, slide show में जाइए.
Oh, sorry.
Resume slideshow, वहीं पे resume slideshow कर दीजिए.
Okay, ma'am. Now you are seeing?
जी sir, हो गया.
No problem. Sorry. So this is the site from where the Matley made his collection, and eventually all the specimens, mostly they found the destination in British Museum of Natural History, and some there in American Museum of Natural History, and some of them are there in the Indian Museum. And anyhow, we are fortunate to find this original fossil sites from where this excavation was done way back in 1932-33. It was very challenging for us. Now, coming to the main part, the other stratigraphic context. Now you see, whatever dinosaurs we are getting here, mostly they come in the Cretaceous from spread right from Gujarat, Kheda to the adjoining district to the east in Madhya Pradesh, and then to Jabalpur. They are the main dinosaur being built along the Narmada. And then we have to the south, what we call it designated Narmada, this Nandongargaon basin. And then we have them in the Tamil Nadu. This Tamil Nadu, they are not associated with any Deccan Volcanic Associate Tract. And here we have the Gonanan, that is Pranita Godavari fossils. From Kota and Adilabad districts or here in this area. And but the most important point is, as I said you, from Jabalpur and all, they were known since 1932, 1932, and even before that. But it was the Geological Survey of India. It was only in the year 1981-82 that we were able to find both the gyroid and axis of this dinosaur, which is the most richest dinosaur late Cretaceous sites in India. Now, just to show you Indian stratigraphy, if you look at the stratigraphic distribution of dinosaur fossils, the oldest dinosaur fossils come from the Vaccalia malairensis. This is from the Triassics, the lowermost of the upper Triassics. Vaccalia malairensis. This is mostly the work by Shankar Chatterjee and from Indian Statistical Institute. And then we have some Kotasaurus there coming from Jurassic. And then we have some Corvette that is again coming from Jurassic fossil. But then you see there is a big gap. We really don't know what was happening to the Indian dinosaur, which is this big stratigraphic gap. We have this Gonanan, Triassics and Jurassic fossils over here. And then again, we have a big gap you can see here. Then we have them from, of course, the late Cretaceous, mostly coming from the Limita, and then few from the Intertapian fossils. So we have big stratigraphic gaps over there. Here you can see. So a very big challenging to see the continuity, how the Indian dinosaurs, they evolved right from their first appearance in the upper Triassic to the end of Cretaceous, that is just in the mastic tier. So most of our dinosaurs from Cretaceous, they are from this, which I am going to tell you about this. This is just I'm trying to show the oldest dinosaurs. This is you are saying this is from the Jurassic formation of by Indian Statistical Institute, which is there in Calcutta. It is a good work by Jayan Rai, Tapan Chaudhary. In India, there are much work has been done on the late Cretaceous and the Jurassic and that. But till today, the skeleton mounted, so there are only two mounted skeletons in India. That is one is Barapasaurus, in Indian Statistical Institute, erected and worked out by the S.L. Jain, Tapan Rai, Kutti Chaudhary, and Pamela Robinson, which is there. And the other is from the by Geological Survey of India, which is erected there in Birla Science Museum here. So this is the Kotasaurus. These are the only two. This Barapasaurus and the Kotasaurus, we are the completely reconstructed skeleton. I'm not talking of the models. I'm talking of the actually reconstructed skeleton model, which is important for all the vertebrate paleontologists. We had a lot of work on Cretaceous from late Cretaceous dinosaurs from Jabalpur or from Dongargaon area or from Kheda, but still we are not reconstructed any full dinosaurs. But of course, there is a problem because whatever I am showing this Kotasaurus, it is about almost 70%, but it has been reconstructed from 12 individuals of nearly the same size. That means of the same size. You can see it is a extraordinary work done by our colleagues P.K. Yadgiri and his team. And of course, he is a Shankar Chatterjee, and who has done Avakaria macrinichi, small theropod dinosaur from Malari, that is the Triassic. And here you again you can see here this the Indian Statistical here the entire skeleton you can see is there for this Barapasaurus. But then it is also a missing skull, both for Indian Kotasaurus and also for this our not Genosaurus. We have the missing skull. And what you are saying, it is there in this is the skull of a volcanodon from South Africa, which is of the contemporary age. And here also it's a missing skull. Again, it is a camera skull, which is important on this. But still, they are the best skeletal reconstructions in India. But coming to this is the Indian dinosaur locally does the attention. The best locations, they comes from the Pisdura area in Chandrapur district, Maharashtra. And then they are known since 1860. And this is from the and this is from, of course, Kheda area. It is a much later discovery in 1981. And this is again from the Jabalpur area. So our late Cretaceous dinosaurs, they mostly they are coming from this knowledge is from the Jabalpur, from the Kheda and from Nandongargaon area. Why it is not moving?
सर आप स्लाइड के ऊपर क्लिक करिए फिर फ्रंट एरो
स्लाइड शो पे आप क्लिकिंग मैडम
नहीं क्लिक ऑन द स्लाइड एंड देन नेक्स्ट को क्लिक करिए
हाँ so next to that you will see this Nandongargaon area it was it's a wonderfully full of dinosaur fossils here. If you look at that map of geological survey, it is the Dongargaon from where this Isasaurus was discovered by Indian Statistical Institute and later by J. Pilson. And then it is a very, very long. It is full of dinosaur fossils, but mostly coming all from the limita formations. And here you can see, because all the lake sediments, they are exclusively coming in the limita formations here. And then you see overbank species, they are full of dinosaurs. See, this is the sections. So this is one of the best localities in India, dinosaur. This is Nandongargaon basin. It is full of dinosaurs, snakes, turtles, crocodiles, and many plant-bearing dung mass coprolites of dung. Because now the things have become very important, not only the dinosaur, but whatever other contemporary vertebrates and other reptiles. And it is one of the sites which have produced a very good reptile that I said about the snake, turtles, crocodiles, and that we are trying to study there in this Nandongargaon basin. And though the dinosaurs, they were remained known in 1828 from Jabalpur. This was the latest discovery in the year 1981, when while doing it mapping in Kheda area, Kheda and Panchmal districts of Gujarat, I was able to step on some spherical structure, which later on I was able to identify dinosaurs eggs. So what you are saying, it was in the year 1981. So that was the first fossil, dinosaur fossil, that is the egg. It was discovered from that time it was a Balasinor ACC query, what you are saying. And this was the first egg, it was discovered in the year 1981. Subsequent to that, many catch of dinosaurs, nests and dinosaur fossil bones, along with my colleague J.N. Dwivedi, he was there. We also able to discover a complete graveyard of dinosaur at a place at Rayoli here. So we have numerous, dozens of dinosaur nesting sites and with thousands of eggs over here. And of course, the dinosaur skeletals, only major 2 sites were there, which we have discovered. And you can see here the outcrops of the lamina formations we are exploring. They are not very thick. You don't get them over 7 meters thick here, but they are full of dinosaur eggs. And of course, at 2 localities, we get a lot of dinosaur bones. And that is the section that you can, it's a dominantly arenaceous species. We don't get any lake or any. We have a granite, we have conglomerates, we have a sandstones, and we have calcite, which is formed of the medium to fine grained sandstone. And then we have a chert or silicate. And most of our ossiferous horizon, or they are coming from these 2 conglomerates horizon here. I'm not taking you to the Rayoli area. You can see here. This is one of the unique locality where you get both the graveyards and hatcheries of both the sauropods and theropods, dinosaur together in a single locality. And this is the picture which you get now. And this was when I was working along with my colleague J.N. Dwivedi in this area. Now this is. This locality now, with the great efforts of government of Gujarat, now there is a big museum has come up over there, the field museum, and also the site is being developed. It's a Rayoli Park there, which is unique to India. Now, this is just to give you the idea how the outcrops and this Balasino lamina formation in Rayoli area, which are full of bones and eggs, they look like. You can see here some of the bones which are there. A very vast stretch of those lamina formation. And these, you are able to see some of the nest site. You can see it here. These are the, we found at least around 20 to 25 sites, as I said with eggs of sauropods of different species, and within that you see the disposition of these eggs. What I'm trying to show you, these are the clutches, and within the clutches you get the distribution of eggs in the individual clutches. So that helped us in the what type of nesting behavior this dinosaur, different types of dinosaurs, rather the different species of this titanosaurs were there. And you can see how these dispositions are there in this nest over there. And these are the eggs which it is from this same site that we were able to even find not only the juvenile sauropod, but also the skeletal remains of complete snakes that was predating on the juvenile dinosaurs. Now, this is also, that is all the, if you go to Gujarat, that Rayoli sites and adjoining area, they are full of dinosaur nest sites where you get lot of this. Most of them, they are all sauropods eggs or titanosaurus eggs. But in the same site at Rayoli, other than this nest of sauropods, we do have a eggs of theropods, and we at least they are around maybe around 14 to 50 nests we have located in the same area. We are constituting about 130 eggs of these theropods alone, leopard, these things. So this Rayoli site is very rich, which is full of dinosaur eggs and of different species, and also of the theropods. And this is a unique site. And with the constant perfect, this is some of this original when I and G and Dwivedi working on this area. That time the scenarios are entirely different. We have all the outcrops, they were full of dinosaur bones. But later on, as the site, it came to the public notice, both the academician and the other people, common man, unscrupulous digging and the removal of the fossils was done. Otherwise, that was full of this, you can see the disposition of these bones. It was a wonderful site. But later on, it was all vandalized. And that's why we had to take a lot of effort. You see, with that time in the 1983, 84, we tried to discover how these dinosaurs, big articles came. And but that time the dinosaurs was not that popular till the Jurassic Park was by Steven Spielberg. It was released in 1993. And that time the people, they went on thronging the dinosaurs fossil park and things over that, and it was very much popularized. This is some of the things which I am trying to show you. These are the excavations which was done. A very unscrupulous excavations done, and it's not a really scientific. Many of the bones were removed by some people, but it was not a really scientific. Even the some explosives were used, and bones were collected and removed, but many of the things were raped. These which aquarius scarce over there, you can see it. So, but it's a bonanza. Still, though bones were removed, thousands of bones and hundreds of bones, but still they are there. Geological Survey of India, after my colleague and Jeevan, we discovered that slide. We took systematic excavations in 92, 82, 83, 5, where Suresh Srivastava from Paleontology Division, Jaipur, he was involved. We had opened a new pits in those excavations, and we collected, because it was a very systematic excavation, because it was a very problematic, because it was a very siliceous conglomerate. But then we were really able to excavate many of the bones, and we collected, especially Suresh Srivastava, 900 bones from this area. But only a few bones it could be described, because it is very difficult to prepare those bones, because we do not have still advanced preparation vertebrate lab in India. Some of these bones you can see. What we are seeing it, these are the excavation, the pits which we opened there. You can see the area of bones here, and this is the assemblage both of the sauropods and titanosaur, this theropod bones here, abelisaurid. And it is what yellow are shown. They are all the abelisaurid theropod bones, and it is out of such bones that we collected, and this collections was removed to University of Chicago, where my colleague Jeff Wilson and Paul Serrano, the worked, samples were prepared, and then what came a Rajasaurus from that. But this Rajasaurus also, what you are seeing it here, it is mostly based on some of the brain cases, some caudal vertebra, and of course some cervical vertebra as well. But then we talk much about the Rajasaurus, but we hardly know how this animal really looked like, because we have very few bones. Even we really don't know how was the skull, because we have only a small brain case, and we have not even the jaw or the other skull bones associated with that. But we do have from Raioli, but they are not. We are not sure if they belong to the specimens from here. So this is the Rajasaurus, a very good description, and the excavation done by Geological Survey of India. And this specimen, this Rajasaurus, which was removed to Chicago, and from there it was prepared. And you can see Jeffrey Wilson over here, Paul Serrano, it was prepared here, and ultimately brought to India after preparation, and lot many those replica of those skulls and all that were prepared. This was another Indian Statistical Institute from the Raioli itself. This was the another theropod other than the Rajasaurus, which was reported from here. Excavation by Shankar Chatterjee from this site. I think it lasted for 2 field seasons, and then but of course these bones were removed in much hurry, because even the explosives were used. And then these are the bones from where Noah's, it described in 2010, people something as a Raioli. So from this Raioli, till today, we have only 2 best described theropod abelisaurid. One is Rajasaurus, and other is Raiolisaurus. And we have those Titanosaurus bones over there, which is look like Ganosaurus, but still we do not have well taxonomic description, because many of the bones still remains to be prepared, which are presently there in the GSI Western Region, Jaipur. And some of the collection is of course there in Indian Museum, Calcutta. Now, coming to this Geological Heritage Dinosaur Fossil Park and Museum, we have a sole distinction because this particular site at Rayali, it has both the graveyards and the hatcheries of the dinosaur, both the sauropods and the theropods. So it is one of the unique in the world. Nowhere in the world you get the hatcheries and the fossil bone sites at the same place, both the sauropods and theropods. So that way is the unique, and that's why it was very, because lot was damage was been done by both the academician and the common people. This Rayoli site discovered by Geological Survey of India. It was very difficult, and then we were able to impress upon the government of Gujarat that this is a site of unique importance and one of the few sites in the world, or rather the unique site where you have all the association of both theropods, sauropods, their hatches and gills, though discovered in 1981. And a lot damage was done, and then it appreciate the efforts of Geological Survey of India. And it was only in the year 1997 that this site was declared protected under legislation, that is Bombay Police Sector. And till today, it is the only site which has a protection under some law. So I am telling, just showing this Rayoli site where I was telling you about the museums and the fossil sites over there. This is declared as protected by government of Gujarat. This site, that nearly 56 hectares of land. It was a great effort to pursue, but the government of Gujarat, they really appreciated the site, and then they declared this area protected. It took a lot of time, GSI, and we pursued it a lot. And then it was only in the 1997, almost covering over 56 hectares of land, this was declared protected under the law. It has a protection under law, almost like an act of Archaeological Survey of India, because we have many geological sites, but none of them, they have any legislation protection over there. They are simply declared, maintained and protected. But unless we have a backing of some legislations, they cannot, because you cannot take a real criminal action against that. Now here you can see this particular site, which is spread over almost 56, 57 ever. Here you can see a dinosaur hatches next site of both sauropods and theropods over here. It's a beautiful. And then you have dinosaur graveyards here, which are full of skeletons of dinosaur theropods and sauropods. And then of course the state government of Gujarat, earlier they have established only a small information center, but later on they established a very good museum. And this is the dinosaur fossil park. Now, this dinosaur fossil park, which is there, is the government of, with the guidance of Geological Survey of India, we are able to establish. And this is a unique park in India. And it will definitely in the coming years, it will be also one of the few in the world. Because nowhere in the world, as I am telling you, you are both the graveyard hatcheries of sauropods and theropods together. And this is the museum which is there, existing museum. Because we have a small information center, but later on, the Tourism Corporation of Gujarat Limited, they appreciated a lot of efforts and recognized the importance of these fossils. And then they helped us in establishing and constructing this museum, which is there. So you can presently see almost 11 galleries there, and we have displayed the material. You can see in different galleries, we have displayed a lot of information, back in time, past inception, world dinosaurs of India, then stereoscopic vision, dinosaurs of Gujarat, extinction theory and fossils. You will find this in any of the museum in India. So we are trying to develop is one of the best state of art like India with 3D technology, and thanks to the efforts of government of India, Gujarat, especially the TCGR, that they are trying to help us in this venture. Now you see this particular, because we have developed this was inaugurated with a new look, refurbished on 8 June 2019. Though the museum existed, but we really tried to give a scientific touch with the construction display of this. And then we have a lot of publicity, and you can see the dinosaur museum, dinosaur parks, 3.5 kilometers. So it is all taken good care by government of Gujarat. It's a example that is to be emulated by other state governments to really give any protection to geological fossil sites and geoheritage. Here you can see this is of the state which we are. So we have different galleries which are coming over there for displays. This is, of course, this is Vandana Prasad, she is a director of Vama Communication, and she's the one who is helping us in establishing the field museum and developing this park as well. This is just, you can see the existing museum. You are seeing just the entrance and inside in the barandas. We try to equip them with the flora and the plant that existed or contemporary with the dinosaurs that time. Here they are just in the attics, atrium, and then the common barandas and the places where we are trying to display those information over there. And these are some of those galleries you can see here. In different galleries, we have a different diorama. We have different Indian models, right from, you can see the dinosaurs in the world and dinosaurs in India and dinosaurs in Gujarat as well. We are given all the information on the Indian dinosaurs here. This especially you can see. This is from the Triassic period over there. These are from the Gujarat over here. So we are developing all the 11 galleries with beautiful exhibits. They are there. It is one of the unique museums so far in India, and we are trying to bring it. And now this is only under the phase 1. And you see, and now we have embarked with the government of Gujarat. Now we are in the process of establishing a phase 2 expansion of the museum. This is the phase 1, and now we have expanded this phase 2, and we are doing all this with availability of 5D theaters, anatomic, digital forest, virtual reality experimental labs. And this is already, and we intend, it is planned, it was to be completed by December 2021. But now probably it will take, it will be not before February 2022 that we'll be able to see. Building is ready. We have already started this work on that. All our models, scientific labelings and everything is now ready over here. This is the ground floor of the museum, of the expansion where you see you can gallery 11, 12, 13, 14. And in different galleries, we have those models which we are trying to equip this lab over there. You can see. These are all the one gallery 11. It is, you can see the theropod, Rajasaurus and all, which we are trying to put it here. We have already started. They are being erected there. The models are those prepared. Our intent is not only to create this model, but as well the skeletal models. So these are something how we are trying to approach. It is already there, and by maybe 2022 March, I think everything, these galleries will be ready with all this information. These are some of the skeletal sculpture, because as a scientist, they will not always appreciate. Can I put it this? Yeah, it is not only the playful models, but they are interested in the skeletal models. So here we are trying to put the skeletal models of Rajasaurus, and this because the Titanosaurus, we really don't know how the Indian Titanosaurus they looked like. So we have taken a little contrary from Argentinosaurus, and that we are trying to save from the mass structure. So these all our galleries, and this is another galleries, because gallery 12, gallery 4, where we have tried to give all this introduction to fossils, process of fossilization, type of fossils, what largest or largest fossils. So we have given all the information where not only the researchers, but the common man, and especially for the student who will be really exposed to the knowledge on the Indian dinosaurs and the dinosaurs abroad over here. And we not only that, because people they are interested, especially the students. What is the process of fossilization? Here we have taken care in this new page 2. We have depicted how the process of fossilization, right from when the animal dies and treated ballistic metals. So all these things are there, and it is presently going on there. So it is being appreciated, and we are sure that by March 2022 this will be ready, and it will be unique to India. Many of the things we have tried to involve many of the collaborators, especially this Vama Communications and CGL. They are very much keen about see that it emerges as one of the best museum, not only in India but in the world. And for that, government, thanks to the enthusiasm and the interest of government of Gujarat for that. You see, that is how these tallies are now coming up gradually over there, because these are very important for us. Because people, they should understand what is the fossilization and how it takes place. And you see, these are another skill. You can see introduction panel about paleontology, role of paleontology, fossil identification, process of fossilization. So this we have taken all there. You see right from the excavations to finally how they are excavation, they are packed and they are brought to the headquarters of this fossilization. Or this, or they can with the 3D modeling and sculpturing over there, so that people they really appreciate it. So that is really emerging as a very good, the best museum in India. And now we are, and you see many of these efforts we are trying to do this, and how the process of excavation, what we are doing, and all these different information pertaining to this fossilization, actually find its place in the museum, and the description, it is all being there given in there. And not only that, because I insisted, because because we have a problem. You have brought a museum, but where are the original specimens? Whatever specimens were remained, they are with the Geological Survey of India, either at Jaipur or at Calcutta. And then some of these bones which were removed by Indian Statistical Institute, they are at Calcutta. But people will really like to see that whatever specimens have been collected, they are prepared and they should be able to find the place in the right place. So any visitors, they will like to place. It is very difficult for us to it is very difficult for us to display the fossils, because we have hardly any fossils kept over there. That's why, and we really wanted to have an original fossil. That's why as a phase 3, we have taken the development of the park there, and then we are displaying the bones there on the site itself. And many of the bones which we are removing, they will be kept and prepared here only. That's why a very advanced preparation lab is coming in this museum, because that was a very important there. So not only the whatever collection, whatever fossils collected from that will have a priority from Gujarat rival area, but we have also suggested about the other people from the other institutes, whosoever interested, if they want advanced preparation facility, it should be made available. Government of Gujarat has come, and for that we have also identified, because once it is established, we have a foreign expertise from University of Michigan, and who will be coming and giving us the training how to prepare these specimens, and ultimately the Indian students and researchers, they can take over. And the government of Gujarat has also agreed to deploy experts for developing these fossils and the paleontologists, because without involvement of it cannot be done. So you can see even the 3D holographs and everything will be there. So we have taken that this phase 2 development, other than the phase 1 which is already existing, all these facilities are there. Women communication and TCJ, where I am a technical consultation, we are trying our best to see that this comes up very well. Now, this fossils research lab, we have taken various techniques, mechanical, chemical. We will all be there prepared to all these bones there, so that students and researchers, they can not only learn it, but they can also work on these fossils. And that was the ground floor, which was again on the first floor of this phase 2. Again, we have we have 5D theater. We have digital forest, because that time I insisted, because people will like to know what are the existing flora that existed during dinosaur times. What was the diet that was prepared by the sauropods and other sauropod animals. And then we have holographs and 3D degree virtual image. So all these things, they are planned, and it is coming up very well there. You see, these are the things which is there, 3 tiers, which is coming up there, and which we are already on the job. And I am damn sure that it will not be extended, because it was scheduled for November 2021. But I think I'm damn sure by February 2022, it will be ready. You can see all this. And we have holography and everything digital for us. It is all there. We involve many people in Mama Communications, and they have come up excellently over there. And it is there. It is not there on the table. We are already there, and there it is in the process. And that was the museum. And this museum has an importance, because it will be unique museum, because it is attached to a fossil sites. If you go to the fossil site today, you will hardly, of course, there are bones over there. But then people will they will like to get thrilled, because what type of bones they will like to see the real bones exposed in that area. the skeletons and things like that. So it's a phase 3 development. We have decided with the TCGL to develop this fossil park. We are trying to involve, because in India, no one can do the excavation of the fossil, excepting Geological Survey of India. Of course, Indian Statistical Institutes are there, but GSI has agreed to that. But the problem is that now the lack of real expertise, because paleontology and vertebrate paleontologists, it has taken a backseat. So here you can see we have the dinosaur nest sites over here, and then we have a dinosaur skeleton sites are here, and then there is a museum which is already there. It's a beautiful museum, but I am trying to show. And now we are in the process of developing these fossil sites over there, so that the fossils will be left for the tourists, both the researchers, students, and the cameraman. At the same time, the fossils excavated, they will be prepared in the museums there itself, and it will be there as a research lab and as a tourist center also. And these are the two, these are the some excavation done by Indian Statistical Institute by GSI. But all these both these collections which was there, it is there in the only in the Geological Survey of India, Calcutta, Jaipur, or it is there. So we have hardly any fossils. I have been trying very hard. So I come from GSI to see that fossils which are there, it is long that they are excavated long back in 83, 84. Yeah, it is criminal if you are not doing anything with those fossils. What we are laying, they are lying there for the last 30 years. And we have same discussion, accepting Rajasaurus and all. And some of the only preliminary description is there. All those bones collection is still there in the Jaipur there. So we need to, if we do not have expertise and preparation facility, that's why when establishing this said, I insisted on the government of Gujarat that we need an advanced facility center where people, they can really prepare the fossils, and they have agreed to that. And University of Michigan in University of Washington, they have agreed for that, and they are involved in establishing this research and preparation lab. So these are the fossil sites where GSI and DSI, and we are trying to develop this fossil site. It is the map of this outcast where you can see the main ossiferous conglomerate, the sandstone, and the lake bearing and those horizons prepared by Geological Survey of India. And this is the layout. I am sorry, this has just gone reverse here, where we are trying to develop this site with those centers. And here's the excavation, how we are going to continue on our excavations over there. So we say that they're articulated bones. This can be exposed. The excavations are done along the same bedding, and we are going to take. And because there are two excavation sites, which one in the north side and one in the south side, which I suggested, and they are different because there are lateral and both vertical faces variations. But basically, it's a arenaceous species only. Conglomerates, sandstones, and very fine-grained sandstones, which are calcareous in the top. And our fossil bones, they are in the lower part, in the ossiferous conglomerate. And that's why it is very challenging. Though GSI, they did a lot of application, lot of papers they have taken, but it is really very challenging to prepare those bones. That's why we said that we need to have very advanced preparation where both mechanical and chemical treatments will be available. And that's why even the Rajasaurus, we are not able to prepare in India. We have to take it to Chicago, and Jeff Wilson, Paul Serien, and all. And that is how the Rajasaurus, it came. And here some of the things which we, as a technical consultant, we have suggested, because we wanted to make some sort of a sky roof along where the tourists can really go, and then they can really appreciate how these fossils, they occur in these particular bones at different levels. So we are coming up with this model. It is already they are working on that. And then these sky roofs, because we have suggested excavation at two sites. And these sky roofs will come at these two places, and then we have different, and all along the walls, there will also be artificial walls where all the information will be there, and also all the fossil bones which will be exposed all along these levels. It is coming up very well, but the priority is now to complete the phase 2 of the Rayoli Museum, and this has been, and we are trying to involve Geological Survey of India, but they have also some sort of a problem. Problem is identifying the expertise. And I think that was the last slide. And I give thanks to Tourism Corporation, Government of Gujarat, Department of Forest Environment, Wamba Communications, who are involved technically, and Geological Survey of India, Paleontological Society of India, for giving me this opportunity to me, especially to Professor MP Singh and Dr. Rajni Panchang here, and Dr. Bandana Samant, my colleague from Nagpur University. We are working together, and my young colleague, my researcher, Anup Doble, who has helped me in this. And thank you. And this particular, you see, this is this. I have just deliberately inserted this slide here. We had 3 meetings sponsored by the Department of Science and Technology and INSA, and you can see Professor Vijay Raghavan here, who is a principal scientific advisor to Government of India. And Delhi University, you can see University, Dr. Prasad, GVR Prasad over here, Professor Sahani is there, where they were involved, and we really conceptualizing the established Indian Museum of Earth Science here. And then we had 3 meetings and wonderful deliberations. We invited people from many museums over there and sites. So you can see Anand Mitra is also there. And then many people from abroad, the scientists who were invited for that. And they were all sponsored by Government of India. But then there, of course, this unfortunately, this COVID struck us. And then we were not, Professor Sahani is also here. And then Bajpayee is there. There are many stalwarts, you will find it here. And then, but it was a problem to identify where this such a big museum will come. Yeah, the budget was very big, and then they assured Government of India there will not be any shortage of budget. But identifying a revenue, either it was the Rajasthan or a Johnny state in Haryana, but it was the Government of Gujarat, which are more liberal, and they are very frank, because they are very potentially very prosperous, and they are the one who were able to ready to sponsor everything in the land and the constructions and everything. But we are still not able to finalize this aspect where this the so-called the Indian Museum of Earth, it will really come. But I am damn sure that it will be there maybe in another 5 years or something like that. So thank you very much, Dr. Panchang, Paleontological Society of India, and all those people involved, for giving me this opportunity to share whatever I know while working in Geological Survey of India, who give me a lot of opportunity, because it's very difficult in GSI to work, staying there for such a long time. I have almost for the 30 years I was working in GSI, and they provided a lot me, not only in Western region, but also in the Central region. So thank you so much to everyone. Thank you, madam. Right.
So there are so many questions, I guess, a lot of questions here. And Devasena sir has a lot of questions, but before that, I'm going to take some questions from the youngsters. Omkar, I think you have a few questions.
Yes, ma'am. So Madan Saho is asking one question: can we report dinosaur fossil in all formations of Bada Shimla or Chota Shimla, or is it present in particular formation?
No, because I showed one slide from Jabalpur, because if you see the Jabalpur, it is in the limit of formation. This limit of formation raised over the Jabalpur, Gondwana group of sediments. Okay, so there we have a green sandstone, the lower limestone, maternal order limestone, upper limestone, and then we have the upper sands. Okay, but most of our ossiferous horizons or dinosaurs, they are found at 3 levels. One at the contact between the green sandstone and the lower sandstone, the lower limestone, and other again in the lower limestone, and again the upper one is in the lower limestone. So all the 3 ossiferous horizons, they are in the green sandstones and the low limestone only. And of course, and it is not only in the Bada Shimla, but even in the Chuhil and also in the Chota Shimla, all these things, but they are confined to the same horizons.
Okay.
Okay.
So next question is from Maulik Pandey. So he is saying that that I am from Jabalpur University doing MSc. They visited Chota and Bada Shimla, where they excavated fossil of pelvic bone, fossilized pelvic bone, and they had no idea what could be whether the dinosaur fossil or the fossil of any other animal from quaternary period. So how can we identify it?
You see, you cannot confuse because if it's from the quaternary period, most likely that fossil may belong to some mammal. There are lot spread of the many of the whether even it is fossilized or it is very recent. It all depends because there are many quaternary sediments also in Jabalpur where many bovine fossils are reported. But if it's a dinosaur fossils and particularly if they say that it's a police fossils, it can always be get identified. And but the thing is that now I don't know, but it's a very restricted area, and the gun carriage factory and OGF, they don't allow us even when if we have to work out. We have to go on requesting them. Then when they allow us to visit and revisit those areas where they give you some sort of a permit, and excavation is totally ruled out there.
Okay. Vibhas, are there any questions on YouTube? Devesh sir?
No, ma'am.
Okay, Devesh sir, you have quite a few questions. Maybe we can take 2-3 of them before we can open up for discussions.
Good
morning, Dr. Sinha.
Time, because it will take for him to answer all these questions. I can contact him and later also ask. So you please concentrate on your time schedule and program.
So, but then there are a very few questions, very nice questions which he asked. Here, 2-3 questions. He asked that do dinosaur eggs have any stratigraphic importance?
Yes.
Dinosaur eggs, because he was also asking that is it that towards the Cretaceous you found eggs and then you started finding graveyards or something like that. So, do they have any stratigraphic?
Yeah. You see, as I told you and what I presented, these dinosaur bones, they are known in India right from the Triassics, from the Dhamaram formation. But nowhere, either within the Triassics or Jurassics, you get any dinosaur eggs. There are only skeletons. In the year 1981 only, that we were able to get the record the dinosaurs in the limit of formation in Gujarat area. Okay, and just after, because we never found the bones first there, but it was the eggs. It took almost 2 years for us to establish that it's because last of the paleontology, they questioned because no one had seen what the dinosaur eggs really looked like. So it took, and then at the same time, we were able to find the associated fossils in the same area. So both the dinosaur bones were there and then the eggs were there. But the thing is that this, as far as the dinosaur eggs are concerned, where the question you are asking me, madam, they are exclusively confined to the limit of formations and some to the intertapians. And this limit of formation are typical Maastrichtian from 30 normals to 29R. Part of the 29R is there in the Paleocene. But older to 30 normals, we do not have any record of any dinosaur. The bones are there, but no record of any dinosaur eggs or even fragmentary eggshells. That shows that these dinosaurs adopted, because when dinosaurs were there, definitely they were laying the eggs, but probably the hard eggshells, which they needs to be fossilized, they were that trait was adopted later on only during the Maastrichtian times. That's why we are not able to see any traces of dinosaur eggs. Probably they were laying before the Maastrichtian very soft shelled eggs that time. That is so common.
So does it lead us to any interpretations about change in environment or change in evolution of the dinosaur community? This information which you just said, that they are restricted to the lammatas or the intertrapians, does it lead us to any kind of interpretations about the evolution or migration of Indian dinosaurs?
Yeah, you see, because one slide I show about the late Cretaceous, and where we are saying, when I start out the late Cretaceous dinosaurs, they are essentially associated with the Deccan volcanism. The major. We have few there in the South India, but they are not associated with Deccan. And Deccan alcanic associated sediment, that is intertapian, limita sediments, or intertapian sediments. Now these intertapians, earlier they were treated intertapian and intertapian, but while working, we were trying to see, because they are intertapian, developed at multiple stratigraphic levels within the Deccan volcanic suit. Because this Deccan erupted from 69 to 62 million years. So there are dinosaurs which are appearing in the intertapian sediments. In the Maastrichtian part of the Deccans, we get different types. But these Deccan volcanic provinces, it enjoyed the eruption of Deccan volcanic eruption at different times. So in Jabalpur area, or if you to go to Kheda area was the first where the Deccan volcanic eruption started in 30 normal. So when the limita sediments were deposited and the dinosaurs were staying there and the eruption started, they were started migrating. That time the limita sediments, they were deposited in the Jabalpur area, in the Sagar area, one in 29R, which is younger to 30 normal. Now, whatever these intertapians were there in the Jabalpur, and we were able to find that this diversity of dinosaurs, both abelisaurid theropods or titanoid sauropods, it declines. These theropods, they declare with the eruptions of the first floor. And we are not able to get them any in the overlying intertapians there. But this 29R limita sedimentation continued in Jabalpur area, where we are able to see these both theropods and sauropods surviving there. But even in the volcanic eruption was started continuing.
Dr.
Yeah,
sorry
please.
for interruption.
Yeah.
Because she is pressed with the time. So instead she reads, let me just briefly ask you.
Please, please.
Consider the paleogeography of India.
Yeah.
That in Cretaceous, it was having an island type of configuration.
Yeah.
Surrounded by sea. So do we have endemism in the dinosaur species in late Cretaceous as compared with the Triassic or Jurassic, that India was totally isolated? So what about these large vertebrates? Did they grow as the kangaroos they have grown in Australia?
Yeah. I would like to answer to you this very interesting question, because you see, Madagascar was the one which we retained our connection, and around 88 million years we shared of connection, and then the Indian plate started migrating northward. And finally to collide with the Eurasian plate over there. So during this period from 88 till it collided with the Eurasian plate, we started this Indian subcontinent area, including Pakistan. We started developing our own endemism, not only in the dinosaurs, but other reptiles as well. So our closest relative, as far as the dinosaurs are concerned, we are very close to the Madagascar. And that's why when we talk of the so-called Titanosaur, not Titanosaurus, because that genus is invalid now. We are very close to the Rapitosaurus, a typical Titanosaurus gear, or we are Majungathalus, which is very close to our Rajasaurus or Rhyolisaurus over there. So these are some of the sisters.
I think I got my answer. One good thing is that these egg nests which we get, are these eggs hatched or unhatched? What is the frequency?
We have both the eggs hatched and unhatched, but majority of the eggs they are hatched. But the thing is that we don't see any development of any embryonic or any cartilage state development. It is only few sites. As I said you, there may be around 1.5 2 dozen sites, nesting sites, but it is only in the few places where we really see the embryonic or cartilages or baby dinosaur associated with that. So that is the major, but complete dinosaurs eggs are definitely there, and that's why we try to scan. And some of those, they have definitely given us the presence of embryonic traces within those eggs. But it is in some places we are definitely getting very juvenile or young dinosaurs which has come out. But unfortunately, they were predated by the dinosaurs. And this is the only unique evidence in the world where we have shown that even the Cretaceous snakes like Sanaja and Mertzite, they were predating on dinosaurs, hunting and
Dr. Mohabe, is there a study regarding incubation period of the eggs of the dinosaurs as compared to the other reptiles, contemporary reptiles?
Yeah. There's some attempts have been made comparing them with the incubation period of say crocodiles. Crocodiles take almost 65 days for the incubation and when then it comes out. But then it is still speculative, because if you go over the people who has given, it will always be speculative. It varies from almost from 85 to 120 days. They say that is incubation period. So really, we really don't know about that.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I think,
Thank you so much, Dev Sena. It was nice.
Dr. Nigam wanted to say something, and Mrs. Dr. Sudha Vadadi from GSI is also here. Thank you, ma'am, for being here. Nigam sir, क्या आप हैं? अच्छा, anyone, for example, Mishra sir? Yes, Nigam
it was
sir.
a very elaborate and very well illustrated lecture. I enjoyed it. After a long time, I am hearing him. But since it is already late, I will not start pouring questions. So let the youngsters ask questions.
Thank you, Nigam sir.
It was really Mobe, congratulations, very good.
Thank you, Dr. Nigam. Nice to hear from you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, so
any idea about the Dr. Mohabe? You know, the ultrastructure of the eggs are known, but whether the internal part has ever been studied by scanning or tomography, because nowadays, few days back, I was attending a lecture by Dr. Biren Patel, Chandigarh, our PSI IFD.
Hello. Sarah, can you
So he said that even if you ever attempted this thing to have the embryo or skeletal element within the egg, in India we have nil almost.
Sir, kya CT tomography, has any tomography been done on these eggshells? That's what he's asking.
Yes, we did both for those theropods elongated eggs and sauropods megalolithid eggs. And it is very few, because we attempted this only on the eggs which were complete, because the hatched eggs we will never be able to see any do. So when we scanned this CT specimen, it is only, I'm telling, we scanned almost maybe 20 specimens which were complete and which were best preserved, and it is only in the 2 specimens which were really able to see some traces of presence of embryonic remains. And of course some cartilages are of course there, but that is intra-giving, that though we have a skeletals, complete dinosaurs, but there is no development of any embryonic remains. So what were those factors where the eggs were fertilized, unfertilized? We were really don't know. That is still a speculation. But it's a very interesting question. We have been doing that. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
So I think with this, I'm going to, we have a second session coming up. And before that, I think I cannot end the first session before thanking my speakers, because that is due. Without you all, because I'm very glad the workers that I had today, be it Dr. VP Mishra, be it Dr. DM Mohabe, or even Dr. Ajit Vartak, these are the speakers that I chose who are actually the workers on ground and who have contributed to the cause of popularization of fossils and preservation of fossil sites. It is indeed a privilege to have had such people gracing today's event and today's lecture series. Their talk told us that as a geologist, they have contributed scientifically, but for its popularization, we need peripheral support. We need help from CSR, we need help from local government, engineers, technologists, landscape and stage designers, architects, right? So we saw all that. Their talks highlighted the need for academic norms to be revised and the involvement of curricula and policy-making bodies in the cause of popularization of fossils and preservation of fossils. Sirs, I'm really, really grateful that you accepted my invitation today and agreed and encouraged and obviously guided us. I was so happy to see, because without this, I think by just listening to you all also, we who have been listening should write articles and popularize it amongst our circles. This event would not have been possible without our audience. I'm extremely grateful to all those who are attending the talks, even on a Saturday, and after a deluge of online lectures and compulsory online classes. Unfortunately, all days, be it Earth Science or any other days, even like Wildlife Week, Biodiversity Week, I don't know why, all of them are celebrated in October. And that's why I think this Fossil Week also becomes a little pain. I'm really grateful to all the office bearers of PSI to be present today to encourage our activities. The same is true for all the stalwarts from the universities, GSI, and national institutions whose presence I have acknowledged from time to time today here. It was amazing to see so many GSI colleagues attending today's event and acknowledge the contribution and respect to each other. But this, I will still tell you, the second session is dedicated to small 10 to 15-minute talks by small PhD and early postdoctoral students who will talk about their experiences in field. We are asking students to pursue PhDs in paleontology, but they have their own challenges. It is almost about 30 or 40 years after the work that the stalwarts have conducted in field that present day paleontologists are trying to do their PhDs. So I request you all to please join me back and listen to the challenges of these youngsters, which will be followed by a valedictory section in which I expect a representative from PSI to summarize the week-long lectures that we had in the different chapters. Apart from that, we'll also have a discussion, a small panel discussion from all the stalwarts here on what can be done to popularize the science of fossils. With this small request, I request you all to please join us again at 2:30 this afternoon.
Thank you.
Yes?
Thank you very much. We'll be there.
So please, please, please join us back and
Yes,
encourage.
definitely we'll be there.
Yes,
Sure.
thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Leo.
Rajni.
हाँ श्वेता बोल.
You can stop that live thing ना.
हाँ मी तेच म्हणते आता मुग्धाशी तेच बोलतेय मी 2 मिनिटं थांब मी करते स्टॉप थांब. ठीक आहे. We'll all join back sharp at 2:25.
Okay.